Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody, and welcome.
Yippee!
Oh, yes. Welcome to all live on this Saturday morning,
Yippee!
August 24th. Oh boy, 2024.
Yippee!
Yes, if you know my wife and me, if you know us both, you know that we never quite just get one thing, no matter how pointless, ridiculous it might be. So, our latest addition to the family, and we don't have children. We've never had children, and yet, this, and my potatoes all over the house. But, so, we go to Target for a couple of things about 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Oh, he was the one with the thing over the eye. He's our first one. So, at Target, and he didn't die, he's just resting. We're looking for these little miniature toys that my wife enjoys collecting and playing with. And then also, our usual Target run of like Tylenol and toilet tissue and what else? What else do we normally get there?
Like that stuff. We get tea. We usually get eye drops. Like, it's shampoo, like Staples.
Yeah.
Well,
no, Staples we get ink cartridges
laundry soap, dishwashing liquid, that kind of.
But we passed by this, and my wife knows my predilection for potatoes.
Well, he was bought at a faraway Target.
That's right.
Like a new industrial complex Target.
We were already all the way in Canton, Maryland.
And we never saw anything like him.
No.
I didn't see it. You were like, honey. And I was like, oh, did you find my toy things I collect? And you're like, no, look. And I thought you were pointing at maybe an axolotl or something.
But no, I was pointing at this, and I said, "Can you take a picture of me?"
No. You were like,
I didn't say buy this.
You said me want, and then you wouldn't let it down, and then people came in the aisle, and you threw yourself on the floor, and you started kicking your hands and feet and saying, me want, mine, me have plastic money, mine. And then they had to pick you up, and then we were escorted out.
Escorted out of the store. They still make us pay for this. Amazing enough. So we got one, and you also thought he was really cute.
I think they're adorable. I like their outfits. I think they're very like, very fashionable dresser for cow potatoes. We learned later that this is supposed to be a Halloween costume. He's a couch potato that wears a lot of outfits.
But here's the thing that I don't understand that this company does. They're called Smoko, right? Smoko.
And we found out that we bought. Here, I'll get the other one.
Oh, well, what other one?
That we had those.
Oh,
lights,
yeah.
Those lights.
Yeah. So. The mouse pad. I'm sorry, the mouse, which is in my desk drawer in my office. But we learned the insane thing about these things is that yes. They have this character dressed up as a bunch of different things, hiding inside a bear suit, hiding inside. Oh, these two, yeah. Smoko, the company, is apparently obsessed with potatoes.
They say he likes caramel popcorn and sitting on the couch and not adulting.
Well, these guys, yes, they're this fella.
But it's the same. These ones are smiling, you think, though.
Well, these are cute too. But these are sewn on. You would figure they'd just make the basic potato and then sell clothing.
Like costumes.
But no, this bandana, this is, and the hat, everything is actually sewn on. So that if you want another costume, you have to buy a whole different potato with the costume on it. Which, thank goodness, Target isn't selling because we would have bought them out if they did.
Well, they have one with the shark that has the seal on its head that's cute, and the little alligator dinosaur. Yeah.
I want the sailor. The sailor.
I think they're all cute.
They're all really cute. So.
Yeah, they have all cute little costumes.
Thank goodness Target carries only this one. But when we got this one...
It's supposed to carry all three of them, but we haven't seen them in stores.
But then we got another one to have him as a friend.
Yeah.
Because, everybody gets lonely if you're just one.
Yes.
So they became, pals around the campfire, as it were.
Yes.
And then we got a third, because...
He jumped in the cart.
He did, yeah. No, what happened was we were at Target again this week. Mm-hmm. And... we were going to get like a little mini toy and buy a couple of other things at Target. And my wife was like, shall we see if they have more? And I said, oh, sure, fine. because I knew last time we were there, we bought the last one. There were no more to be had. So we weren't gonna. I kind of would go down the aisle. We won't spend any money on this because there won't be any, but we'll look. Wouldn't you know? They restocked one and brought him out and put him out on the shelf. And here he is.
I
now
think it's like when we first went there, I had to return something or exchange something. I don't remember what the details were.
Yeah.
And then remember there were the potato latkes that were on the customer service counter. We found them there. So I wonder if like AI or something tracks us when we go in and they're like, it's the potato people. They're going to aisle E10. Go and put a potato there.
I wonder.
Put a potato in that aisle. They're coming. We know from their card, their chip, that she bought a potato.
Right, but there's a potato game we didn't buy. There was a hot potato game with a cute little... Yeah, this is very important, folks. By the way, watching Dave's... If you have no idea what the hell is going on, welcome to the club. But no, this show is this, plus other great segments that we do, real actual segments, like Greeley Times, which is based on a column in the Greeley Tribune.
Picture of my salad. It's gorgeous.
You want to show that picture? Because you took that picture. It literally looks like it's from a magazine. We took this yesterday when we were eating at a place. It's a chain everywhere, but they just built one near us called Honey Grow. Check out this picture my wife took of her salad. And it was a salad that you didn't physically make it. But,
No, I didn't make it, but you order the parts and you don't even tell them what to do, but they make it nice for you.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like something you would see in popular
I have to send it to my nutritionist.
Magazine. Yeah. So,
let me find your picture of you and the...
Yeah. What was it? So we're going to Target again. We bought the other... What was I going to say now? Gone. Oh, I was telling you what...
You didn't buy these, right? So here's some of the other things, like...
Here's some of the other potato things.
Hot dog, chicken, and the other potato, yeah.
This is something we also saw at Target, which we did not buy. Chicken, is it and or? I think it's chicken or hot dog.
I can't read that, yeah.
Which...
And then let's show them the next one.
Something's just wrong about that. And then, we did not... I had some self-control. We did not buy these.
Because you don't like the game ones because they make noise. You did find, what was that thing pooping? Something pooping.
Oh, everything. Every other game now has poops or farts involved.
It was something, but it was a thing of like a little, like a...
Pooping
cow
reindeer?
On a toilet or something.
Yeah. Yeah, or it jumps off the toilet or something if you lose the game. I'm not kidding. Walk through, even if your children are grown and moved away, you've never had children, walk through the game aisle.
I'm searching poop games.
Target or Walmart or any of these places. And, back in the day, it'd be Monopoly, Chutes and Ladders, card things, Uno, Plinko, whatever the hell they're... Uno, yeah. Now everything is like, don't touch the farting chicken.
I did the word poop games in Target, and there are 3,000 results of poop games.
Only 3,000?
Yeah, they're cut back.
So here's a kitten games. Well, exploding kittens, but guess who game? Is it? I'm not saying anything. I'm going to need my glasses for this.
There is poop, yeah.
I'm trying to see some here. Chess game. It's not really...
Here, I'll show you.
There's Tapple.
There's a lot of poop games. You don't see
them?
Yeah,
but the things that they're listing have nothing to do with poop.
Where's the...
I mean, you did the search, but I'm not seeing specifically poop. Yeah.
There was a poop.
Maybe just search for poop instead of games. Because it's looking separately, algorithmically, for poop versus games as opposed to just poop.
They have the poop spray. They have a lot of, like...
Right. That's
every bunny... Oh.
Yeah, anything good? Oh, yeah.
Here's some books.
Here's some books. I don't know if there's copyright infringement here, but Every Bunny Poops, as opposed to Everybody Poops,
which was the series,
which is the classic, yes.
Yeah.
And that's not even the Everyone Poops book by Tara Gomi from. Oh no!
What? Show me.
There's a book. I'm actually going to click on this. Just I may even add it to the cart.
Oh great. Let me see.
I'm just going to show it, and I'm going to show it too.
Oh, what is it? Who eats poop?
It's a dung beetle story by Mark Pett, And it's a dung beetle looking into his or her or their. Let's be prononically correct here.
No, I think dung beetles eat other people's poop.
Well, it just says, "I eat poop." A
Okay.
dung beetle story, and he's looking into his lunchbox sadly.
Well, I would too. If I ate poop, I would not be happy.
Well, no,
about it.
maybe he's, I hope I get like that 400-pound girl's poo. Oh, no, I got the vegan guy's poop. You know, he weighs 90 pounds and it's like a sliver. It's, I did not make this up. This is a real book.
You could click on the picture, it'll make it bigger.
Yeah, I did. I showed them already. But I want to go back now if I can go back.
Give it to me, I'll take it.
Yeah. So some more poop books. There we go. Oh, there they are.
One, we poop on the potty.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
It's my potty. I'll poop if I want to.
Oh, they have poised pads. Luxury pad. They have a poop UFO ball for your Let me see.
A what? Unidentified squirting object. What do you... Yeah. We live in a wonderful world. Because think about it. When I was a kid, if Mom took me to like Toys R Us.
Animal poop. These are all the pooping games.
Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah. Wait. Animal poop matching. Match the scat, essentially.
That's a good.
Because that's something that you really need to know.
In Colorado, they get 100% on that. They know all the poopies.
So poop trails, but then it goes to like Hero Quest and Avalon Hill Betrayal and
I guess maybe those are pooping games.
But they have or farting games. Tons of things about farting that if you just walk through the aisles, because the things that I really wanted when I was a kid, they were still considered, inappropriate, if you will, or not. Well.
They love the game Pig Pop.
Pig Pop, that sounds cute. Unless, of course, you're popping a pig and guts explode all over the place. Mm-hmm. So now it is common. It's like this was part of a game
Here, I'll ask this,
that my wife and I bought in Colorado years ago. This is
games that involve pooping.
There was a game that we bought in Colorado where you flush this toilet, right, and you go around the room, and you didn't know who. It was random. It was kind of like Russian roulette, in a manner of speaking. And then at one point, you didn't know when, you'd flush, and the poop would fly up, and then you'd all try to catch the poop. I'm not kidding. And then whoever did won that round of the game. This is why children are who they are. This and COVID.
There's a game called, they're writing about it, but I don't see it. It's a pooping game where you can't clog the toilet. The goal is not clogging the toilet. This is for me is a great thing about the 21st century, Because I think when I was a camp counselor, a lot of kids were afraid to poop, like the young ones. Yeah. I think there's a lot of stigma around pooping and passing gas. So if you can destigmatize it, that's good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't want children laughing hysterically at it if someone does it in public, but we're asking people about their issues.
Well, this just happened. This is more of a video thing rather than I was going to do it as an elsewhere on our Greeley Time segment that I mentioned before. This just happened. This happened this week in minor league. No, yes, it was minor league baseball.
Oh no.
So they have. It's not a mascot per se, but they have like a pet thing for the team.
Oh no.
So they got this new dog. It's like medium-sized, like Labrador mutt dog.
You remember when we went to the petting zoo? The petting zoo, yeah.
So they let the dog. They let the dog out intentionally, to run around the bases.
Where does he poop?
So he runs out. He runs back into the dugout, and he runs out again. Everybody's cheering. He runs to the infield between first and second base, and people are clapping. And suddenly he squats. And it's like the third, between the second and third inning, and he's taking a shit. And meanwhile, the pitcher's still warming up. He's not paying attention.
I was like, once you smell something funny.
And the great part is the umpires they're dragging that thing. I don't know what the word for it is, but when you want to smooth out the earth around like the dirt part between the mounds. So they're dragging those long rakes.
Oh no.
And he's dragging the rake and the dog is shitting right there. It's like, don't just keep the rake
away from the dog doo-doo.
Because otherwise you're just going to smear poo.
But you're supposed to, if you have animals like that for an event, you're supposed to walk them beforehand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but that does bring up the thing.
Or maybe he got scared with all the clapping and,
Well, yeah, it was his first time. It was his stage debut. But so
what's his name? Poopies?
Well, it is going to be now. I don't know what they're going to nickname him.
They must have that on like so many social memes. What's the team?
Because I don't remember the team name. Maybe they could make fun of the team name.
Let me ask, because it's probably
Minor League Dog Poop. Is it?
Minor League team mascot dog pooping on field. Oh. Dog collects. Minor league team bat.
Yes, that's it.
Across field and poops in field during debut game. Lily is the dog's name.
Lily?
Yeah, Lily dropped.
Yeah, Lily make his pads.
She's a bat dog. I guess she collects the bat. Well, you can't.
Or she shits out something that looks like a bat. Here we go. Minor league dog. Bat dog. Yeah. Runs because that's how they threw a bag out for him to chase.
Oh yeah.
But he
pardon me 1 second.
Lily didn't even pick up a bat. She decided to run around the infield and take a massive poop in it. Oh, I guess. Oh, they're going to show the. Here it is. Here it is.
On a picture.
They're trying to hear. It's on the phone, so it's sort of.
Oh, she's cute. Look, she's.
Yeah, it's a beautiful white sort of dog running into the infield.
Running
there she goes. She's doing her run. She's doing her run.
Yeah.
She's excited. It's between second and third, I think. This is very far away. There's a better. I'm sorry. There's a better video of that. But this is what happened this past week.
God bless her.
So it's a beautiful thing.
Their name is the Clearwater Threshers. There was no Clearwater there.
Should be the Clearwater Flushers. You know that's what they're going to be called now. You know that. The Clearwater Flushers. So.
Oh, here's the picture here. For the Post has the picture.
Of course, the New York Post has the picture. I mean, this really should be the mascot for the Chicago White Sox this year. It's like they're batting 240.
I'll see if I can find you a video. I'm sure there's something.
It's got to be that. But it's hysterical. It's wonderful. But it does remind me. It reminded me. This is true. The original Annie, and I'm trying to remember what was her name. It was Andrea McArdle.
Here, honey, wait.
And she used to tell the story when she was on Broadway in the 1970s doing Annie.
It's on TikTok.
Sorry, right? Here it goes.
Yeah.
So there's a dog. He's walking around. He's having some fun. He's living his best dog life. Well, here he's walking around. He's trying to find. He's sniffing. He's sniffing. That's never a good sign.
No. Yeah.
Is he? No, he's walking. He's walking. He's walking. It's hard to. This is not the best video either, but he's doing his thing.
Annie, what you said that I'm sure Annie's dog made poop.
He did. He did. She was singing literally the signature Annie song. Tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. And while she's doing this, and the dog, Sandy, the dog, is right near her. Sandy just goes flap.
I love it.
And the audience is going hysterical. And she's got to keep singing the song.
What could she do? I would stop and say pardon.
The scum came out tomorrow. Today.
I would just stand in front of the dog so nobody.
Well, they had to clean up. They had to take an extra moment after her song. I'm sure the stage manager or the ushers or whoever they get to do the cleanup had to come out after her song, and they all got a little an ovation too. And I'll bet you Sandy got like a standing O at the end of the whole show.
I'm gonna look it up. Social media for Clearwater Thrashers.
Oh, that's brilliant. We got to see their Twitter feed.
I can see if I can get Twitter on your phone.
That's brilliant. I can probably do it on here. I just don't want to tap because the noise will be annoying to our lovely viewers watching at home.
Oh, look it's the new dog. Look at Layla the bat dog. I bet she never pooped on the thing. They retired the other one.
Oh, poor Layla.
Yeah, they retired. They're going to bring her back because she can hold her doo-doo.
But the old dog, old dog was 13, which for a big dog is old.
That's very old. Yes, you're right.
So she worked after 6 years of service. Layla the bat dog finished her So they replaced Layla with Lila.
Lila May, who did doo-doo on the thing.
Oh, good lordy.
They didn't cover it though, right? They didn't.
Well, this is the old dog that retired back in July.
I don't see anything in their social media like their new. Let me see.
Really?
Yeah. What are they gonna say?
What do you think they're gonna say? I mean, how many jokes can you make? Let's see. Like she got out.
Oh, Layla's last bat. I guess they love it. You know, some people say they're crying. It's Layla's last.
She made a grand
bat.
slam.
Yeah. No, her last bat. Let's see.
What
Oh, this is all about the dog. I think I'm in the wrong account.
Oh, oops. Yeah. Well, no, we don't. We want the teams thing.
I think they're the Clearwater Beach Dogs. That's their theme, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the minor league team, the Clearwater Beach Dogs.
They don't have anything about the new one.
Really? Oh my! It should be viral.
I know.
Oh well.
Media. I guess they're afraid to talk about it. I don't know.
Well, we're not afraid to talk about it, of course. Here on Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, and all of you watching at home. Remember, we have
at the Facebook of the social media manager.
We have coming up Greeley Times, which is based on phone calls that come into the police department in northern Colorado. The funniest ones are collected in the local newspaper, and we share the funniest ones from those with you. We'll also have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we go to a place you've never heard of, I've never heard of. It's a neighborhood called Arickaree.
Here, look what they put on their site.
Arickaree, Colorado. Oh.
That's on their Facebook.
Lucy May's debut was more entertaining than we ever could have imagined. And they literally did put a poop emoji with their post. So she's a cute dog.
Let's see the video of her.
Yeah, this is not her. This is not going to be her. Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah, look.
I'm going to see if I can make it somewhat bigger. Here she. Oh, this is the one. This is good video. Here we go. Yeah, she's saying hi. She's friendly. Not especially well trained.
No. Maybe they should train her a bit more.
Yeah, it's like, go over that. No, Lucy May does not. Now she goes back in the dugout for a minute, which I don't think she was supposed to do.
I don't think so either.
There's the ball girl. Like, oh, look at Lucy. Oh, it's a cute dog. No, go out there. Go. There you go, Lucy. Go fetch the bat.
She didn't. There was a bat she just passed.
Yeah. No, she's got something else to pass right now. So there she is, getting the second base, now between third and...
Oh, Lordy!
Oh.
How's she doing it in front of everybody?
Felix Mian used to do this on the Mets back in 1972. In between innings, yeah. Oh. And
she leaves.
Bravo! And then you see the guys with the rakes. I'm waiting to see them. Oh no, she's running back. Yeah, good dog. Good dog.
The old dog saying, "I told you so. I told you."
Oh lordy, yeah. Sit. No, it's sit, not shit. Good girl. Yeah.
This is on their Facebook. At least they showed it, you know.
Bravo. Yes. Well, it's minor league. You can really have some fun. You know, you can actually have a real sense of humor. But what else? Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we go to Arickaree, Colorado. I'll have a sick, dirty. No, last week's I was so disappointed. It wasn't sick or dirty. Oh, this one is. So.
Oh, it's her little sister, so they're related.
Oh.
Let's see both.
Yeah. They're
cute.
What else are we doing today? Oh, we're going to have Dave's Big Dictionary. Dave's Big Dictionary is a segment that we've been doing for a while now that has to do with my powers of improvisation and free speaking, which just means that we come up with a random word, and then I have to speak extemporaneously about it for like 5 minutes. Whatever comes into my head, wherever the word makes this brain go, and then I try and entertain you in a somewhat comedic fashion with that word for a bit. In fact, let's take a look at what our word of the day will be. And we thank Merriam-Webster's Dictionary for taking the legwork out of this for us. Back in the day, we would have to thumb through the dictionary and find a random word. Don't have to do that anymore because Merriam-Webster's doing it for us. Their official word of the day is Whoa. This one's going to be interesting. I think I can find things to talk about with this. The word is jeremiad. Jeremiad. What?
Oh, that's the word for today?
That's today's word. What it means, jeremiad refers to a long cautionary or angry rant about something.
Your show.
It can also refer to a similarly prolonged lamentation or an expression of great sorrow or deep sadness, as in his jeremiad about trivial problems with the campsite didn't go over well with his friends. So, later in the program, probably not that much later, we will have the word, I will talk about the word jeremiad, maybe even use it in a sentence. So that'll be kind of cool. And I'll do that on the program. We call that Dave's Big Dictionary, which is just one of the many segments that we've been doing over the years on this fine, fine program. Now, the other thing we haven't told you yet is that we have a guest in the Daverhood.
Oh, geez, yeah.
No, not Jesus. We've been trying to get Jesus.
I have to.
Give him a call. It's interesting. He's in the wait. He's been in the waiting room, or at least his computer has.
Okay, good.
Since we started, but I would call anyway to make sure that they didn't just set it up and then he fell asleep again. Okay. So let's just, or I
when
can
does he go on? When does he go on?
10:30.
So why don't I call? Just call at 10 to make sure.
Yeah. Well, he said to call an hour before he goes on. Just give him a buzz. Make sure he's awake and there, even though he's ready and willing. And he probably got so nervous that he wouldn't wake up, that he woke up early and he's already with us. So we will have our guest in the Daverhood, Brandon Maggart. Brandon Maggart is a veteran actor, so veteran, and not that I'm trying to age him, although he's, I think, 80s or almost 90 at this point, but he was on the pilot episode and the very first episode of Sesame Street, which I watched. I remember watching in 1969 as a child on a black and white TV, the very first episode of Sesame Street, and there was actor Brandon Maggart. What I didn't know is that he was only a year away, which he couldn't have known, a year or so away from being Tony nominated for a performance in Applause on Broadway with Lauren Bacall, Leroy Reams, friend of the Daverhood, the late Bonnie Franklin, friend of the Daverhood. He also did a few other Broadway shows, tons of TV series, guest appearances and things like that, as well as, let me see, and he's in more recent years, he's turned kind of more into a writer, a memoirist, and a novelist.
Yes, he's going on at 10:30 because I'm going to call in a minute.
Yeah, please, thank you very much. So Brandon Maggart.
And you see him in the waiting room.
I see his computer.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And if that last name rings a bell, and it very well might, it's for a couple of reasons. First of all, one of his daughters was... Oh, you're giving him a call. Yeah.
It rings a bell.
Oh, thank you.
So if the name rings a bell.
Durr.
I'm a literalist, right?
One of his daughters was on the show, about 10, 15 years ago, a marvelous singer named Maud Maggart, a cabaret and nightclub style singer. What wonderful, lovely singer. And so she was on the show, and she's still performing. He's also the father of Fiona Apple Maggart. She kind of dropped the last name when she became, and you all know who she is. So, yeah, he is their dad. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but it's more about his life, his career on Broadway, as well as in TV and all the writing that he's been doing. So, Brandon Maggart going to be with us in about an hour here on the program, talking to the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon. Of course, Rabbi Saul has been with us since our very first episode back in October of 2022. That's right, we're coming up on starting our 20... I can never get this. So we will have been on the air 22 years come October. So we will start our 23rd year, October 7th or whatever it is, because that's when we went on the air. Back on Long Island Radio, WGBB. Yeah. Still there. That radio station, amazingly, is still there. As long as there's still an AM, which isn't very much longer. GBB is still there. So we did our show for years on that station as a radio program. Then we moved over to internet radio, then got onto college radio, which was some of the best stuff we ever did when we were at the University of Northern Colorado, because I could play a ton of music there and not have to worry about rights and ASCAP and stuff. And then after that, moved again and brought it also to video. And that's how we've been for about 7 years now, doing video to really go with what is obviously a radio program. You can see the budget for the program for design and costume is, we actually have a negative budget. We try to use things that we already used so that we unspend money on this program. And yet here we are. And we've been doing it these 957 episodes into the program. Yeah, and as I said, Rabbi Saul, who has been with us since our first episode, he usually does, he does a lot of our interviews now. He also does rabbinical reflections, which are these mini sermons. You can find out more about him at shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. But the main thing is that today he will be interviewing Brandon Maggart on the program live. And so what else? We might just do Bunion Watch. It's been a couple of weeks since I've shown you my feet and the size, shape, color of my bunions. We may do that. Yes?
Your guest, there's a little mix-up with time he's waiting. He needs to go on
now. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. You know what? Yes. This is great. We'll do this.
Yes.
Our guest in the Daverhood, Brandon Maggart, was up early.
It's 6:30, he said there, yes.
Right, it is. That's when we're supposed to wake him up to get him ready to do that. Anyway, Brandon Maggart, we're thrilled, is ready and waiting to do the program. So, we're going to bring him, and we got to wake up. Can you wake up Rabbi Saul?
He's up.
Rabbi Saul is up?
There's a buffet that's free.
How are we going to pull him away from that? We'll wait till he takes a dump, and then he's doing it. All right, so Rabbi Saul Solomon, the one, the only, the Jewish, is going to be doing it right now. He's going to be talking to Brandon Maggart. Let's bring Rabbi Saul in with his music. So yes, he will do the honors, and it's going to be a great fun chat with Brandon Maggart. Sorry, I got to pull the Rabbi's music up rather than the intro show music. Here it is. Oh, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, shalom to you on this Shabbos morning. I, of course, am Rabbi Saul Solomon, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And what a delight, what a thrill, what a joy it is for me to be talking to a veteran actor, a person who has been doing Broadway and television and other things for these, and I'm not exaggerating, 50, 60 years. He is also a writer. Let me give you some of his credits. He did the 2015 memoir, Behind These Eyes, Such Sweet Madness Lies. Plus, a book called Where Possums Dance and the Willows Sing, which is, if I take ayahuasca, this is what I see. But let's talk about the acting, too, because he's a Tony nominee for the Broadway musical Applause. And if you remember that, it starred Len Cariou, Lauren Bacall, our lovely late friend of the Daverhood, Bonnie Franklin, and also our friend Leroy Reams. So, yes, Brandon Maggart was in there and got a Tony nomination. He was, in fact, one of the new faces of 1968. I told you, it goes back a way. Think about it. Leonard Silman, who put these things every year together, was kind of a review that was introducing brand new, thrilling, exciting people into the theater and cabaret world. So he'd find comedians, he'd find singers, he'd find actors, and then they do this big review. It was the Broadway review, the new faces of. So among the new faces of 1968 were Robert Klein, our comedian friend of the Daverhood, and the late Magellan Khan, and Brandon Maggart. Ladies and gentlemen, so that's pretty good company. He was also, what else do I have in there? You know, and as David mentioned just a moment ago, he was in the premiere episode of Sesame Street, and he has all these other Broadway credits. Unfortunately, we're trying to well, we're not we're waiting for him. He was in a waiting room, and now we're waiting for him. So, oh, this is called vamping, ladies and gentlemen. They might have to call him back. I may call the lady there and see if. There we go. Oh, thank goodness, because you can see how well I do at vamping. All right, we see a visual, and I'm also hearing some noise there from Brandon Maggart. Shalom, good morning to you.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you beautifully and loud and clear and wonderful. So I'm sorry if there was some mix-up in terms of what time you would be going on the program, but we're very happy to have you.
Rabbi, it's still dark here.
Well,
I'm in California.
California is dark? Why is it so? I see one window behind you. Well, are you in your little den? Are you in your little study or attic, or where are you?
No, I'm in my very large den downstairs, and the lights are a little light on there. Early morning light peeking through the window over here, but out here beside. Anyway, it's dark as Hades.
Wow, you would mention hell to a rabbi, but there you go. I was telling everybody that your credits include a Tony nomination for the Broadway show Applause, as well as being on Sesame Street, as being. You mentioned that you acted with our late friend of the Daverhood, Carol Channing. We have so much to talk about with Brandon Maggart. So first of all, welcome. How old are you at this point? Are you?
I'll be 91 in December.
Mit Mazel, mit Glück, and you seem. Are you healthy? Have you been? How have you been?
Old.
Yeah.
I'm old as dirt.
Old as, not older than dirt, but yeah.
I'm old as original sin.
You've been asked this question a few times, I can see, and it's not that original. People were doing it, really even before. So here's the question then. Thank God that you're well, even though you're old. What you've been obviously shifted from acting to writing, I guess, about 10, 15 years ago. How do you get up and write? Do you have a ritual for writing these books that you've been writing, your memoir and these other books?
Well, I was an actor for all those years and did all those shows and television, movies, and everything. And when I was doing a TV show out here, one of those shows of the month or week or whatever it is, and I hurt my back. I was playing a detective and kicking a door down, and I strained my back, and I forgot about it. And that started bothering me, and it was just something that aggravated something else that was already there. So eventually I had to have back surgery. So that was when I didn't have the surgery until much later. So all that time before that, I was hobbling around and finding it difficult to play roles where I had to run and move around or anything. But so I had a marvelous career going, and I said, well, so then I had back surgery. I have a sliver of a cadaver in my back.
Wow.
Yes, we converse every once in a while, but so I'm fine now. But in the meantime, all during that time, when I was a kid, I was a writer. I knew at the time I just knew I was a writer because I'd started writing about writing about certain things, and then I was a painter as well. I studied painting. Like I began painting when I was 12 years old. I think I have upstairs a large pastel of a ship at sea that I did, which is on the cover of one of my books. I did several books you don't know about. Not many people don't know about a lot of my books,
Well,
but
yeah.
I just love writing. I love writing about, and I love telling stories, and I love being on stage. I love being in the light, and I love being behind the light, and I love solitude.
Oh, all
I
right.
love solitude. Every morning, Rabbi, every
Yes.
morning, if this, I should call you Rabbi or Dave, what?
No, Rabbi. My name is Rabbi Sal Solomon. Dave is my good friend
No,
who lets me on the
I
program. Yes.
call you Rabbi is fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or your eminence. I really love your eminence would be nice. That would be good. Yes.
fuck off. All right, here's what you do, Your Eminence. I would call you Rabbi. Now, look, I every morning, except this one, I go out on my upper deck. I'm serious now.
Yeah. All right.
I go out on my upper deck, and I have this expanse. I can look up and see the sky from east to west, and when it's daylight, or at night I go up there as well too to see the stars. But I have solitude up there. I'm closer to the beach. I'm closer to the beach. I'm closer to the bay here, so I can hear the waves slapping in at night when things are right. So I just love going up there and having solitude, and let's turn it on or open it up and let go, because I'm so old. I have a history, and my mind is open to things when I was in the cradle. I can remember when in a baby bed or something, a point of hanging on the bed. I can go back. I can remember, and a lot better than I can remember this morning, but but I can remember the colors of things and taste, and where I can. I haven't been in my home in many years. I grew up in a small southern town in Carthage, Tennessee. It's along the bank of the Cumberland River near Nashville, 50 miles from Nashville. And we lived on, I had a farm, we had a farm, and I spent most of the time on the farm in this when I wasn't in school. And we had a little house in the city as well, in the town, 2,000 people. Home of Albert Gore and Cordell Hull and me and some more. And anyway, so I discovered one morning that if I'd close my eyes, I'd travel back in my mind. I'm not talking about spooky travel back.
Right. Not before you were born, but to your cradle times and to your
I,
infanthood. Yeah.
I went back in my mind to the room where I was sleeping in, and I looked around the room, and I saw actually on the table bedside table I had a Bible, and I read the Bible every night, but I only read Psalms and Proverbs.
All right. As long as it's not that New Testament shit. As long as it's the good stuff. Yes.
All right, now I'm not going to say anything. If I get off track, I don't want.
Sure. So you had the Bible, you read it cover to cover, and
Not cover to cover.
just Psalms and Proverbs.
You get kidding? You get lost in there reading the Old Testament and thing, and I got a problem with Abraham, but we'll go into that later.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I have no problem with Abraham. I
What
have a problem with Cain. Cain was problematic. Pharaoh, not such a nice person. There are people I have problems with.
I will go into that later. Believe me, I'll go into it with you. But I could walk get out of my bed, walk out of the room, look around, and open the door down to the basement. It went down. We had a coal furnace. shovel a coal in on the side and go down in the morning, shovel it in the furnace. But there were the cement steps going down to there, and I can feel those cement steps and see them and smell a little of the coal dust and go. I can walk back up. I can walk into the bathroom, walk around, and walk into my mother and father's room, empty as I walk. But I can go to the dresser where my mother worked, and I can do that right now, and can look at a mirror and see myself as a little boy trying to look over a clock there to see if I was getting any taller every day. And I can go out.
This is a legitimate memory. I mean, you literally can sense
Yeah.
yourself there mentally, as opposed to they told me I used to do this, or you actually feel it.
Well, it's not tactile,
Okay.
but I can picture myself there that I haven't seen or been into since this visit. It's been there the whole time in my mind somewhere. The brain cells are incredible. It's like the universe. How many, and so I can go in there and I can go around the house, go in the yard, out the thing, go on the farm, walk down, go down the spring. I can do it. So I enjoy doing, and I can go visit people. I can talk to my uncle, and well, same way.
Yeah.
I can see my uncle and my aunt on the farm, and my pony down by the river, fishing down the river. I can go. It's available to me.
Great. That's fantastic. Let me ask you. I want to pull you off track for a moment because you mentioned growing up where Al Gore was. Did you know Al? Did your family know the Gores and Al Gore and all those?
Of course, yes. They were they lived. They had a farm too, but they had a house in town. And Al and Pauline, and they had a sister named Nancy, and they lived just almost a stone's throw from my house. But they weren't there. They were in Washington most of the time. But when they were there, and she had a horse, she had a marvelous horse, and I had a horse. Most every kid in town had a horse, and it was a wonderful little town to grow up in. And yeah, I actually never really knew Al like I knew his sister and his mom and dad.
All right. I was curious about. So let me. How did you go from being a farm boy, as it were, to suddenly, doing TV and appearing on Broadway? What was the trajectory? Was it college or what?
You have to stop me because that'll start and it'll take 4 days to get there.
As we have some time, it's all right. As long as I have coffee, I'll be.
When I was a little kid, I knew right away that I liked girls, right? And I knew that I liked to. How could I impress a girl? They like to hear me sing a song. So on dates, I wasn't very verbal at the time, and so we would sit there and I would start singing. And they would smile, and I said, "Well, bingo, here's the road to where I want to go." So then I used that. I hate to say used that, but I used that to ingratiate myself.
Sure. Actually, don't girls love horses? Couldn't you just say, "Hey, here's our horse"? Couldn't you have sort of done that, or
Well, they had horses of their own.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, then I had a car. They liked that I had a car. My father was he had a Chevrolet dealership in town. He was part owner. He was not an owner. We didn't have much money, but we were in that small town. We were fine, And we had the farm, which shared with my uncle and an aunt. But so then, and when I went into high school, I was an athlete as well. I played everything: football, baseball. I didn't play basketball, but I was a very good football player. High school, right? I college too, but I got 3 concussions and had to stop playing. So, but anyway, I had an English teacher named Hattie Terry, and she was one of those rather heavy set, women who put a lot of white powdered makeup on her face, and she wasn't very available to me somehow or other. I couldn't communicate with her. I don't know. But then my math teacher asked me, Buddy, everybody called me Buddy. Said, Buddy, said, I want you to do a play. I said, do a play? I don't do a play. I'm a math. Said, do a play. She gave me a copy of a thing called The Valiant. Did you ever hear that play, a one-act play, The Valiant?
No, who wrote that thing? I've never heard of
I
this.
don't remember who wrote it, but it was just a little play that was, and I was a prisoner and about to die, and this girl comes to visit me and thinks might be her brother, and I deny it. Of course, when she leaves, we talk about that. She says, "You used to read Shakespeare to me all the time when we were little," and I said, "No, no, no," and then she leaves, and then I start quoting Shakespeare. The audience knows that I. So I did the first time we did that play. This woman, the teacher, I came out of off stage and she was standing there.
Is this the math teacher or the pancakey English teacher?
The pancakey English teacher.
Right.
The math teacher, the director. The English teacher was standing there alone, and the tears were made. It looked like little canyons rolling down her face. That she was crying. And I said, oh, and she was kind of at a loss for words, but she was saying how great it was. And I saw right then, Rabbi, you could be on stage and you could converse, make contact with people, either with using other people's words, as you use other people's words and your own, use other people's words or your own, and communicate. And
not to mention make girls cry, which is another thing. You can make them. You can listen to your songs and go or if you can get from there and weeping, you might be getting a stroke later that day. Yeah,
people love this. And so when on dates, I go out and I sit, in the car with a girl. Sometimes double date, sit in the back seat with another. So, I don't know what got in my mind. I sang Old Man River to a date.
All right.
Can you imagine kids saying, I got nothing else to say. Old Man River. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. I assume she was not a colored girl, because that would have been much, colored girls work on the Mississippi. She'd be like, okay, let me out.
Hey, speaking of colored girls and growing up in the South, okay? Hang on. Stick with me, Rabbi.
I'm sticking with you, yes.
I can tell. All right, that there was the relationship between black and white in a small southern town at the time, in that little town, was not really, I didn't even notice it that much, except that we had a woman that was black that worked for every once in a while, but she was like another friend who worked. I mean, but there was a difference, but you couldn't put it, but she had so much love in her. And then my sister, 10 years older, she had a woman who lived with her, and she was a African American or black woman, and she had 5 children. My sister had 5 children, but the boss of that family was this black woman named Willie Mae, and she was revered by those 5 boys more than the mother and father, because I'm telling you, there was something about a black mother that is so loving, easy to cry, easy to laugh, easy to hug. That now
it's kind of the opposite of a Jewish mother, if you think about it. Jewish mother, it's easy to feel guilty, impossible to please, yeah, okay, there you go.
Now I'm going to skip ahead and have to come back. Now you'll have to help me if I stick a pen in the thing.
Oh, please.
I had a Jewish girlfriend. Yes, many years later, after I divorced and this around, I've been around. Believe me, I've been around. And anyway, wonderful girl. Aren't you from Great Neck, or aren't you?
Yes, good memory. Yes, that's where my temple is. Yes.
She's from Great Neck. She lives there now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, maybe I know her.
But I'm not going to tell you who. Well, I know, but anyway, she and her mother. I used to go out there, and her mother would forget I was not Jewish, and we would go because we'd go out for Sunday lunch. We ate Chinese.
Which that counts.
Everybody ate Chinese there.
Yeah, of course she thought you were Jewish. You were eating Chinese food. This makes
Rabbi,
total sense. Yes.
She would forget that I was not Jewish.
Yes.
And she would talk about shit over there. She said, "Look, goyish cup, goyish cup." Of course, I laughed and her daughter laughed, but that was, and well, I got in. I don't know. Where was I? I got to go back because I'll go down that trail. I was then I went from singing in school, singing in college. I won an operatic scholarship in college. I did with the Grace Moore. You know who Grace Moore was? She was a famous movie. How old are you? 12.
Old enough. Not quite as old as 90, though. So
she was a huge movie star opera singer, and she was from Tennessee. And they still do it. They have a Grace Moore operatic scholarship. And when I was in college, every 2 years they had an audition for professional singers. They'd give us a scholarship, an award. Sounded like pretty much then. Now it sounds like lunch money. But I won that. I was singing the operas in university. Then I'm trying to rush through this. So I was going to go in the Air Force. I went to Air Force ROTC during college, where I was doing operas and plays. I did a lot of plays with John Cullum. You know who John Cullum is, right?
Wait,
John Cullum.
From you're in town and from what's his name?
Yeah.
Pickett.
Yeah.
The other one. Northern Exposure. Yeah.
We did a lot of plays together in college, and then he's a great tennis player. Was at the time, by the way. Other than that, and then anyway, then I went from there. I won that award, and the war was over, so I didn't have to. I spent 4 years in Air Force ROTC. Right.
This is the Korean War you're talking about, not Vietnam. Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I say Vietnam?
No. You just said the war. I was trying to place the time.
No, Korean War.
Yeah.
But it was when I graduated at college in journalism, by the way, in radio and television, by the way, WUOT in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm on the air now.
WUOT, what? Yeah, that's a little comedy right there. Okay. What? WUOT, what? Yeah, comedy. All right. So, but you didn't become like a newscaster or an on-air reporter.
I changed majors so many times. I had so many extra hours when I graduated, you wouldn't believe it. I was all over the place. But anyway, so I'd won the scholarship. I was married. I had my first child, and we were. I was told that you can go in the Air Force and be a second lieutenant, or you can walk away. I said, "Excuse me?" And they said, "You can walk away." And I had no idea. I was going to be a pilot. I was going to be a career in the Air Force, at least for, and I'd won this award. And so I said, "Oh." And so I changed my whole life. So I came to New York with my wife and kid at that time.
Mazel. Now you're placing us, I guess, in the very early 60s. Is this would be the area of when you started to try to act and sing? It's interesting you didn't become more of a concertee or a nightclub cabaret person. How did your trajectory go to, Broadway and TV?
Well, I wanted to be an opera singer. I wanted to sing at the Met. I wanted to sing all the baritone roles at the Met. And I auditioned with the City Opera Company in New York. And I want to tell you, I thought I was good, but then I said, well, I didn't get that. And then, I auditioned for a Broadway show, but I didn't have an agent. I wanted to sing Broadway too. But I said, well, all right, I have to go to chorus calls. Oh, no, I don't want to. I can't go to the regular chorus call because I'm not in the union. I got to go to the cattle call. And I thought, well, how degrading. I'm going to sing at the Met. I've been going, and I was my first call. I went, there were guys lined up around the corner, go in to get two jobs. There were two baritones. Back then, the chorus singers had the voices. There were the big voices in the chorus. You know, the guys, you know, leading roles had good voices too. But the really sound, this was before microphone, everything is glass. There was always two baritones, two tenors, two altos, and two sopranos in every show. And that evolved out over the years, but at that time, so if, I didn't have an agent, so I could the chorus thing. So I was a baritone, so I had a shot at one of two baritones. Yeah. So I got now, but they don't. This is for the open call. Now the chorus call already too. So maybe there might be a sneaking in one baritone out of the open call. So that's a long story. I had to go through a lot of stuff.
You're not going to get the
I figured ways to be unique. Because right away, I sitting in the wings to hear those voices that were so great then. I cannot tell you the beautiful big voices that were in the chorus. And they were here auditioning. There was a tenor from Kansas. We became friends. We got Huddleston was the last name. But, oh my gosh, he was singing Bohem and everything right before me. And I went out. And this was time, this was in 1958, I think. And anyway, Most Happy Fellow was on Broadway. You know that musical, right? The Most Happy Fellow. So he introduced me. I come out, and there's a work light, a piano player, and they sit out in the dark theater. The audition you, blah, blah. You don't see them. They sit next. You go out, and I think, my heart is so full. Thank you.
Well, yeah. It's like the producers. You know, they come out for half a note, and if you're not right, they're not going to waste their time. They're going to be, thank you, you know.
Don't even look up. So I figured right away, I got to figure out a way to be different. I don't want to be in the chorus anyway. I want to be out of a role. I want to start so forth. So I started making up my own auditions. For one of them, I went out. I got my piano player, and I got a guy to go with me in the wings with a stage manager's pistol. Okay, so he could fire the gun. It did not. So it just makes the noise. It's no bullet anymore.
Yes.
But I came out on stage. I was singing. I had a piano player too. He introduced me. Here's Brandon Maggart, blah blah, and they don't even look up. So the piano player plays my introduction. I don't sing. He plays my introduction again. I don't sing. I'm standing there looking out. I can finally see. Oh, their heads start looking up. When the heads start looking up, I start singing. Casey Woodward with very, weak kind of thing. Finally, and if they start laughing, I get bigger. If they start laughing, I get bigger. At the very end, I'm holding a high C, a B flat or a high C at the end. And I'm holding it. The piano player can't shut me off. I took the guy with me. He steps out of the wings and shoots me while I'm holding the high C. So I did that. So I got in. I did crazy auditions. I got in the doors that way.
What show were you auditioning for? I hope that was not Death of a Salesman. I mean, what show? Well, that wouldn't have been a musical, but Death, the musical. What show would you do that for to even audition?
Well, that one was the first Hells a Poppin' I did. Do you know Hells a Poppin'?
Yeah.
I did Hells a Poppin' with Soupy Sales. And that's how I got that show. And that was in 1967. So I did a lot of the shows before that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about a couple of the shows that you did, that you were cast for on Broadway. For example, you did a show called One Night Stand, which featured Jack Weston and Kate Mostel, who was the wife of course, of Zero Mostel. I didn't do well. But what happened with that show?
I love Kate Mostel. And I did a show with Josh Mostel, too, called, that we at the American Place Theater, called, that Betty Compton and Adolph Green wrote and Phyllis Newman directed, and it was to the American Place Theater, which they have a built-in audience. It runs for a certain one amount of time, and if it's a big hit, then they move it and invite the critics. They didn't. Tova Feldshuh was in it with me. I love Josh Mostel, myself, and two more people. But then back to Kate Mostel. She was just a lovely, warm, and her best friend was Jack Gifford's wife.
Of course, the Gilfords and the Mostels were great friends, and the wives were, I read that book. Yeah,
too. But the show was, and Julie Stein wrote the music.
Oh,
to the One Night Stand.
Julie Stein wrote the score for
music for One Night Stand.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what happened with that show, though?
I'm getting up to it, Rabbi.
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
I'm verbose.
You're 90. I'm impatient. And sometimes we collide, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, you can jump in. I'll jump right back. We're at home here. I told you my mother, the woman, she used to call me, "Hi, Goyish cup."
Yes, and Buddy.
Right.
So what? So we're on this show. It's Kate Mostel as well as Jack Weston, who was sort of forgotten now, but a very beloved and funny performer.
Yeah. He was in. He was in another show that I saw that he was just incredible. I can't remember the name of it now. I'm old. But anyway, the first time I saw my oldest son laugh really hard was in a show that Jack Weston was in. I took him to see. So that was the show. We're getting back to it eventually. One Night Stand was about. Herb Gardner wrote the book, and also it was essentially about him, and he was becoming ill at the time. We didn't know it. He's a wonderful writer, and he was coming. We didn't know. So Charles Kimbrough played his part on the stage in the musical. Wonderful Charles, and so he was out there singing and dancing in this musical with a top hat and tails white and all these incredibly beautiful women dancing around. Rabbi, you would have, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Kleenex, if you know what I'm saying. Fine, yes.
So many beautiful women like you wouldn't believe. They're talented women. But very distracting. And we had a huge advance sale. We didn't go out. They said, we don't have to go out of town. Do you ever hear do you know about the theater party ladies?
Oh, sure.
The theater party ladies booked the place. So Needlander Theater, we didn't have to go out of town. As soon as those theater party ladies came in that first show, and this guy started singing and dancing about dying of cancer.
Oh no!
They started.
Ladies are like 9. They're just a little younger than you, so I'm sure they were just. No.
So, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah. I've heard a rumor. I got a tumor. No, they're just not going to stay for that. Yeah.
That's it. And so I don't know why they didn't foresee that, but we died in previews. They ran out of money. Now, can you imagine Julie Stein and Herb Gardner and this? I was so excited about that show. I played the producer. I didn't have a song, but I had great billing, and but I was there. And what the director directed all the operas. His name would get me right now. He was schmuck. Excuse me. Sorry to use that word.
Let's see if he's still alive. Let me Google that real quick.
Oh, Dexter is John Dexter.
Oh, I've heard he was terrible. They said things about him when he was doing M. Butterfly, that he was a real piece of work, that guy.
Oh, he directed a lot of operas too. But I did learn from him. I did learn something from him.
What?
But believe me, I always watched. If I wasn't on stage, I was watching. I would sit out in the house and watch. And he saw me, and he said, "Come up and sit with me." And he directed from the first row balcony.
Right.
I said, "What are you doing up there?" He said, "Because I can see the whole stage, the dancers. If you sit down here, you're just seeing the front row."
True. Very true.
From up there. So I learned that from him. Also, I learned that after every rehearsal, he had a young boy that met him backstage or outside, and they disappeared into the night. The next night, another young boy. People have their things. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I worked with Jackie Mason too. You know this, right?
Yes, on Chicken Soup with Lynn Redgrave. Oh my God. So okay.
We'll go there
By the
later.
way, we're talking with Brandon Maggart, who is now going to tell us about Jackie Mason. What was he? He was on this show where they tried to pair him with Lynn Redgrave as like a couple. Yeah, okay, sure. What was it like working with Jackie?
Actually, that couple pairing worked very well because Lynn is so loving. I don't know. Did you see any episodes? We just ran for like almost
40
a year.
years ago, yes, but and they're available on YouTube. If people want to watch, you can still see all the episodes of Chicken Soup. You can call them up and watch them today and see. So
anyway, I played Lynn's brother. I had a bar. I had an Irish bar, and she was Irish, and Jackie, of course, was her suitor. And it was all
Irish. I think we can be clear about this.
it was all set up because I was like the Archie Bunker. He was the Jewish fella dating my Irish sister. So now, listen, I was doing a wonderful TV series at the time. At the end of a 5-year run, it was called Brothers. Did you ever hear of that?
The gay brother.
Yes.
I never saw it, but yeah.
Oh, it's a great, great series. At the time, it was incredible. That's out of that I did Tevye from after that there was a Fiddler on the West Hollywood Roof. I sent you that clip. I don't know if you watched it or not. It's Fiddler on the West Hollywood Roof. But anyway, so it was all set up. And I was finishing up Chicken Soup, and I saw, Lynn, I'd worked with her before, right? I saw Lynn was going to do with Jackie Mason this show, and it was supposed to be, they'd already done the pilot, and it was going to be the hit of the season for ABC. Scheduled the hit. My show's closing. I said, "Oh God," because I love Jackie Mason's recordings. So.
And this was before Jackie Mason's big revival with The World According to Me, and then for about 20 years, it was huge on Broadway, right? This was before or after his big, I think it was before. Chicken Soup came before his great third act. Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't, he was big, Jackie was big. And so he had plenty of recordings. So, I said, "Oh my gosh, how I would love to be in that show." But they're already done. They kept the pilot and everything. And my show's closing. I get a call. Brandon, they're adding 2 parts to the Chicken Soup. I said, "Okay, what?" They said they want to see you about playing Lynn Redgrave's brother, Irish boy. I said, oh. So I read for that. I came in and read for it, and I just blew the roof off. Now, because it was written so in the script that I read, that they sent me, and that I read for on the air, it was really good. And play with Jackie and me, again, like Archie Bunker and Jackie Mason going at it like that, in the same way of not being hateful but combative, that kind of soft core, kind of soft, walking a thin line of their soft core batting like that. I said, and I read for the thing, and I was so happy. And then they sent me the pilot, that they did, the whole thing. And I had my son Garrett in. I said, Garrett, they sent it to me at home. And I said, Garrett, sit down and watch this. Oh, what's this? We're going to, it's going to be. And they played it. And my faces just dropped. They had gutted it. It was like, but then when I did it, and they sent me the opening script, and it was soft like that. But even then, there was a rabbi out here with in California, had a large following, and they would come to dress rehearsal and tapings, and they would give Jackie notes. Jackie, of course, said, Brandon, they say I'm too Jewish. I'm
terrified.
I don't know. They didn't tell me. I don't know. I'm going crazy. So I stick a pin in that. I want to tell you, Jackie said, Brandon, I want you to come with me. I'm going to do a show tonight. This is before we did any show. We were in rehearsal. We're going to do the first show the next week. And I said, what are you going to do a show? He said, at the Greek Theater. The Greek Theater is a big theater, 18,000, something like that, people. And he said, I want you to come with me. And so I went with Jackie, went to the dressing room, and I peeked out there, and this place is packed. And I said, Jackie, what are you going to do? He said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? Aren't you nervous? No, I don't get nervous. I said, what do you mean? I said, what are you going to do? He said, Brandon, I go out there, I say something, they laugh, I say something else. That's it. And he did that for 2 hours, and they were falling all over the place, and I couldn't believe it. And he was so nervous during the show, though. The taping of the show with the critics, he was so going over. Is this going to be right? Are they going to get me for that? And then he got in trouble with Mayor Dinkins of New York. Apparently, during one of the off times, he said something, maybe, something. I don't know. I say. So everybody got mad at him. And the show wasn't that great. But it could have been magnificent.
I'll tell you, I watched just a little bit the other day just to see it, and I think it influenced Seinfeld in a certain sense because he starts the show with a monologue, like a comic monologue, basically directly talking to the audience, which is exactly what they used to do in the first couple of seasons, where it was just him riffing on something that would then become a thing.
Now, he was always very good, easy with that, because he would, he wouldn't stick the script or when he'd play a different thing. But even then, so it was kind of doomed. So that was it, and I was heartbroken. But Lynn and I, we had done Hills of Poppin' already together with Jerry Lewis.
Oh my! Now wait, do you have any stories? Because I've heard Devil and Saint with him.
Rabbi, do I have stories? Oh my gosh. With Jerry Lewis?
Yes.
Let's jump over to that show.
Well, let's So we've heard that Jackie Mace, that you got along well with him and he seemed like just nervous about his show. But what about Jerry?
Jackie was, again, he had a manager that had a woman drop by for every morning, drop off and then I don't know. I didn't see. I wasn't there, but that was it. But anyway, with Jerry Lewis, Jerry and I got along great. Well, I auditioned a song I wrote, and he just loved it. He wanted to put it in the show. It's called my jug song, where I just sing to a jug, a crock jug. You're my jug. You're my jug. Sitting there all brown and white, a really funny, great, full-blown song. But Alex Cohen said, no, we can't use that because it's about drinking. Now, Alex Cohen, the producer, had a thing, no snakes and no drinking. You can't have a crossover, a joke with a snake in it, because he had a thing. He'd run out of the theater. If you mention snakes, he's gone. I loved Alex Cohen. Alex kept me working. I did so many shows for him. But anyway, we were great. I loved working for that man.
Wait, who's this? What's the name
Alex,
again?
Alex Cohen. Alex Cohen, the producer.
Alexander Cohen, of course. Yeah, he used to produce the Tony Award shows every year for like.
And Hillary, his wife, he used to produce the Tony Awards every year. And I did several of his shows. Anyway, we started.
How was it working with Jerry?
Abe Burris started out being the director of the show.
Yeah.
And he was there. Abe Burris. Everybody say, "You see Abe Burris?" Because Abe used to blink like that. He said, it was something about that 666 building on Fifth Avenue, where it was, where the lights were blinking. Every time I walk by, I think of Abe Burris.
Burroughs, by the way, if you don't know him, he co-wrote How to Succeed in Business Without. I think didn't he also write Guys and Dolls, or co-write?
Yes, he certainly did. One of the great humorists of the time, a great writer, so well respected, and he and Jerry didn't get along. Right away, Jerry's one. I can tell Jerry and Carol Channing. Nobody else had a say so. You know, it's their show. They say you do this and there's other things. But I was friends with Jerry. I'll tell you, Jerry had two faces. One was Marvel, and the other one you've heard about. Yeah. But there were two personalities.
You've seen both. When you were working with him, you watched him be both.
I watched him and close with him. He was very warm and personal, and he could do everything. And of course, it got Abe fired right away. Abe said, "You do this." Jerry said, "No." Abe fired Abe Burroughs, just so gone like that. So the stage manager took over directing at the time. Wonderful actor, stage manager, but he took over and he could do, because Jerry was directing, so that was it. They had a choreographer and it was it. But right away, Jerry and Lynn didn't hit it off.
All right. Yeah.
Lynn and Jackie hit it off, but Lynn and Jerry did not. Jerry had a wonderful little girl named Jill Choder, very talented young woman, who was that Jerry is his protege, so he wanted to promote her in the show, and he wanted the good things to go. And she was set up. Here's the thing: this poor thing was set up. You know, hell's a popular thing. Jerry's always on stage. It's called spritzing. People are always coming in and spritzing. It's stopping. He's trying to do this, and Joey Faye would do a crossover, or I would do a cross. Joey Faye. Oh God, I love Joey. But Joey, stick a pin in Joey. I'll be right back. But with Lynn, nothing. But Jill Choder was set up. She was like playing an usherette, and she would come up and interrupt. He said, "Go away, go away. Don't bother me now. I'm on stage. I'm doing this. I'm twirling my baton. I'm up in the air. I'm typing my number. That number.
Wait, Jerry used to do that number on the telethons, where the typing to the music. He used to do that.
Yeah, he did it in the show, which is one of the best things in the show. But he did all that. He did all this stuff, and then he wrote a lot of other stuff. Was like, oh my God, so too far gone out. He had some set pieces that worked, and we had great dancers again, and great dance and acts. We had Leonardo spin plates up in the air. Oh, there's a story about that. I'll tell you later. Remember, if we have time, Leonardo's story. That's a pop into so many stories. And acrobats, we had all this stuff. And Joey Faye and I played gin rummy in the dressing room. Joey Faye, I never won a game. Joey Faye's good. Anyway, he's a great guy. We opened in Baltimore, and it was well received. And understandably so, it was all over the place. It was all over. That's what's funny. That was when this died, that didn't. Somebody back there, Joey Faye was sitting in the audience, and he'd say, "Excuse me." He said, and Jerry would stop. He'd say, "Excuse me, He said, "Is there a Christian Scientist in the house?" And somebody in the back said, "I'm a Christian Scientist." Joyce said, "Would you switch seats with me? I'm sitting on a draft."
All right, cute. Funky stuff. All right.
There was some wonderful, but if you get those things get lost, if it, so it was a mess. But as what I did 10 years before that, I did the Hells of Poppy with Soupy Sales.
Yeah. How was Soupy? Did you like Soupy?
Oh, I love Soupy. I just love Soupy. Then we did that in '67 at the Expo. And we were supposed to, George Abbott was going to come in and direct it. We were supposed to come to Broadway because we died up there. Again, it's a mess. Oh, but out of town, I'm a writer as well, but I was in several shows that I would say they knew of. So Alex was going to use me a lot because I could doctor. He didn't have to pay me more than what I'd say. Okay, so I wrote some things for the show, that I would be in or give to other people. I was always known to do that, and I did that. That's when that first Hells of Poppin', what made him keep hiring me, because he knew he had me in the pocket, kind of thing. No money, no extra money. But where was I? Help me. What show was I in? I was back in the show. Please point me. What show do you want?
We talked about Jerry Lewis, the ups and downs. How about someone who was on this program a few years ago, before she passed, someone that you dealt with for like 2 years? Apparently, I'm guessing that she was great, but her husband was not so great, because you were in Lorelei with Carol Channing. So you must have stories about Carol Channing. And
do I have stories about Carol Channing? Oi, you smear! Do I have stories about Carol Channing?
Now you're talking my language, so yes.
Schmuck. Now listen.
Not her.
I'm not meaning you, just you know what I mean. It's part of the lingo. So anyway, I started out with Carol Channing. Great. I got a call. I was doing Wedding Band with Ruby Dee and Jimmy Broderick off Broadway. It's a public thing. And it was a wonderful show. I love doing that show. But I got a call. Said, Carol Channing wants you to go on the road with her for a year to play opposite her. Peter Palmer is going to be the Button King, and you're going to be the Zipper King. It's a remake of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And it said it's going to be gone for about a year before opening on Broadway. And at that time, my life was messed up with ex-wives and girls and drinking. By the way, I'm a sober alcoholic. I've been sober for 47 years.
Mazel, McGlick. That's good.
I've been that too for 47 years without it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking,
If it weren't for Manischewitz being so disgusting, I would be an alcoholic. But I tried to get a Seder. I was like, how do people get hooked on this? I put it down. I'm like, no, I'm sticking with Yoo-Hoo. So, yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, I grew up on moonshine, but I love that. But anyway, it nearly killed me. So set that aside. So where was I? What show was I?
Carol Channing taking you on the road with Lorelei.
Okay. So, Laura, thank you. Every once in a while I get Mars. Oh, Mars. Yeah, Mars. Okay. So it's Carol Channing. So right away, Peter Palmer and I get along. Well, I love Peter Palmer. He's gone now. Peter Palmer, who played a little Abner on Broadway.
Oh,
Peter Palmer, wonderful tenor. Oh my God, he's a beautiful man. He had 5 children. I have 7 children. He had 5. Jerry Lewis had, I think, 6 or 7 children.
All these actors with fine sperm. This is good to know. Actually, let me pause you there. But how are your 2 of your children are very well known. 2 of your kids are
Maud been on your show. My daughter Maud has been on.
Maggart, lovely, beautiful singer and woman. How's she doing? Well, she's still performing. She's still doing her thing.
Oh my God, she's performing great. She's doing a show here at the Gardenia in a couple of weeks, and then she's going to take it to New York She's going to open at Birdland in New York. I'll promote that later. But I'm going to be in her show. Last year, I did my 90th birthday show last year.
Yeah.
And she did the hostess. She hosted the show, and she sang and put me on. And I meant to be on for an hour, and I went on for 2 hours. You can tell I talk a lot and tell stories.
But everybody wants to hear all these stories. They want to hear what you have to say, of course.
Except for Gerald Steinbach, who I can't even remember his name. He's a wonderful pianist, Gerald Steinbach. He's a wonderful pianist. He's very big and playing in the synagogues out here, and he's very well known, marvelous pianist. But I'm all over the place. And Jerry said, "Hey, Brandon, we're doing this song." I said, "Jay, don't play. I'm talking."
And after 2 hours, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to need a
2 hours.
Yeah.
He had 2 hairs left.
Also, we have to say that you are the father of another songstress, Fiona Apple Maggart. How is she doing? And how, because she's had it tough in some ways and great in some others. How is she doing, and how are you doing with her?
Oh, I'm doing great with her. I just spoke with her yesterday. She's unique. She's a unique person. Maud was 2 years older. Maud was Maud Amber. Amber, her name was Amber, and then she changed her name to Maud Apple because my grandmother's name was Maud Apple, and Fiona used the apple, and used Maud. It's a long story, short story, but that's it. So Amber was the very pretty girl in school, and Fiona, the boys used to make fun of her. Why aren't you pretty like your sister, Amber? And she became, with this little girl with them. She liked horses. She rode horses. And she was a riding crop. And she would, what kind of school, because the boys would bother her. It was terrible. But anyway, so Fiona took her angst into the piano. And we had a piano we lived on Riverside Drive, up on the Upper West Side, near Riverside Church, right down the street from Riverside Church. And Fiona would go into her room and pound on that piano, pounding out. And I'm out in California by that time, but she pounded out these songs, and she came out in the summer. All the kids came out here in the summer to visit, and I had a piano out here, and she sat down at the piano, started playing the songs, and at that time she sounded like a 35-year-old black woman. I mean, she could wail that thing in the voice, but that wasn't her natural voice. She was just doing that. But she was classically trained pianist. Then after that, and she then started writing all these songs, and she came out here. And Marshall Barra, you know who Marshall Barra was? Marshall Barra wrote What's on a
Mattress, right?
Yes, he was a great friend, house friend. And Marshall was here half the time. Marshall and Ronnie Graham were both. Anyway, Marshall loved Fiona. And Marshall used to record songs. And I was, with me one time, and Marshall said, "Fiona, you want to come up? I got 15 minutes left on my studio time. You want to come up?" Fiona came up and recorded the first little song that was on the tape. She had 3 songs on a tape that her sister gave to another woman in New York, who gave to a manager, who then Fiona became a big star from the little things. So yeah, that's Fiona, and she's done all these. She's named the singer-songwriter of her generation. She's won these Emmys. She doesn't care about money. She doesn't want to. She only wrote one song for money, because the producer said at the time we have to have a hit song. All these other songs are wonderful. People love them, but we need a hit. and she was like, I don't know, what, 15 or 16 years old at the time. 16. So during a lunch break at a recording session, the first recording, she reeled off this one song, and they came back and she played from. That's it, and she recorded. It was called "Criminal," and
yeah,
became it. And it was been in the movies and whatever. And so Fiona's written a lot of, but she only does it like every 7 years. She has a big hit album. Otherwise, she disappears. And well, she doesn't disappear, but she just doesn't want a publicity. Doesn't touch a piano for a while. She, like me, she walks out in the woods, and she thinks, and she when she if and when she feels like it, she begins. So I don't even write. I don't even know if she's writing. We don't. When I speak with her, we only talk about other things.
Well, let me ask you, since as you, by your own admission, you were for many years a fall down drunk, were you estranged?
No, wait. I wasn't a fall down drunk. Let me back up and say that I never drank before during a show. But as you probably heard, after shows, here's another thing you should know, and probably do know, that there is such adrenaline when you're on stage that when you come off stage, so many actors go to the bar. So that's you to get that high again. It's hard to come out. You come out of the Palace Theater. You come out and you hit the alley. You know, despite the Palace Theater, bright lights, every celebrities. You go out the stage door. It rats in the alleyway. You go out in the street. There's nobody knows. All of that's in a whole different world, and you're on the street.
Need that time to just sort of, and the bar is right there. So
bar's right, and all your friends are there. You go ahead and laugh and carry a thing, and next thing you know. So that's one thing. Same thing with falling in love. First, do you remember your first love?
Oh my God! I fell madly in love with charoset at the Passover Seder. I said they chopped up apples, nuts, cinnamon, wine. They stirred it all together. Oh, it's been a love affair ever since. But I think you're talking about women.
All right. Well, let's stick with that for a while. Yeah. If you want to get back to the other later, we will. The first Jewish person I ever met in my life was in my hometown in Tennessee. Now, I like when I kept saying in New York, when I got on stage in New York, I said, I don't know why I'm here. I fell off the turnip truck, and here I am on this Broadway stage. But in this small town, I didn't know. Then we had people lived across the street. He had a partner, and they had a cab company in Bristol, Tennessee, which is far away. And his partner was coming home to visit and bring his wife and daughter. And I said, oh, they're coming in, and they're Jewish. I said, well, okay. Jesus was a Jew, right? Boy, I'm in now. You know? So I swear to God, I go, yeah. And she was the cutest thing you ever saw. And there was a certain thing was about that. There was a mystery about a Jewish girl. Now that might have been all the
mystery, but
in my head, there was, and to look at her, she was, as we said, cute as a speckled puppy in a red coaster wagon. And so that was my first time.
All right, that's a good, positive, happy experience, which is good.
Right away, she was on a pedestal with me, and I met her years later. I don't know, but anyway, that's it. But that's how.
That was your first Jewish experience. Yay. You know, we all have to have one. It's a good, it was a great time. It was good. So where the hell?
Two of my daughters are married to Jewish gentlemen, too.
Yes, mit mazel. Actually, I do have a sad question for you. Am I wrong on this, that you lost one of your, because you're 90, you know, it happens.
Justine. Yeah, that of all my life, I've been near death. I've been shot at. I've been chased. You know, husbands get really angry if their wife if the wife says, "Oh, that you stepped out," I just want you to know I slept with Brandon. That is still it's not no good.
So, I don't know what this has to do with Justine, but when were you shot at? Who shot at you?
I ain't talking.
You just were talking. You were just telling that you were shot at.
I ain't talking. But one guy did say, he put it in a newspaper in London that he was that had he been close to me, he wanted to garrote me. He would choke me. And he would say all sorts. In person, he didn't say how much to say. But anyway, I don't want to go into that because everybody has kids and things. We don't want to go into that.
You have to
So
name names,
I was on a roll there.
Yeah. So, but
Justine. Yeah, well, Justine, I came out here and I just moved in this house. It was empty at the time. I bought it right here. I had a TV series. Oh my God. I like before my ejaculation show at Bond, I was going to the airport and they said, no, go in and read for this show. I said, but it's on cable. I said, go and read. And it was Brothers and I read for it. And that's how I live in this house now. That's how I.
Brothers for rent for 5 seasons.
My house. Let me tell you that my house. I looked in. I said, "This is what I want," because this is going to be a soft landing for any of my children, whoever they are in the world. I have several bedrooms in the house. It's 3 floors up. I have my paintings all up for 3 floors up, and This is my nest here that I'm in right now. And so, anyway, so when I was in here, I was sleeping on a futon in the loft and doing the show, and got my daughter to call me. The dad, Justine just got killed in a car wreck, and I said, "Are you sure?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "All right, I'm going to hang up now, and I'm going to call you right back. Okay, don't leave." And I hung up. And I swear, Rabbi, I bellowed like a animal. I lost it. I lost my mind. Anyway, it's a long, long story of that, trying to get down from that and becoming to reality. I said, if I said to God, if I could get you by the throat, where were you? What you know stories of like that, I'm sure. So, but anyway, it took me a while. I was doing the show and like,
you're okay with the because the idea of being able to go on after that, because it's a non-normative for a parent to lose. It's not the normal experience, you know. Okay.
hey, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, you're okay.
They write me down a lot because I would break out crying. Anything emotional that came up, I would just start crying. I got through it, but I've lost a lot of people, and I was with Lynn when she passed. I was in Red Grave. Lynn and I later on, after she got divorced, got together, and she lived here with me for a few years at the end. So we were very much in love at the end, and I was with her when she passed, but back in the East in Connecticut. But I was with my friend Ronnie Graham when he passed, and but I was destroyed when Justine passed. But I'm here now. But that was the only.
This writing, because you've written a memoir and you've written other books, did that help you get over? You don't always get over, but does it get you through?
Rabbi, here's the thing. Thank you for asking that, because in the middle of writing one of the books, at the first beginning, I put this in the book. I forget which one. I said, "Oh, I have to stop here because I'm revealing myself. I'm getting this out of my system of all this thing of where I've been, what everything, all this stuff. I said, but there are other people involved. I have a family here. So I have to stop here because I'm hurting. Although I'm helping myself, am I putting the weight on them, unnecessary weight on other people, especially in my family and other children who knew people who, were involved. And so I went to my children and they always, Julianne said, and especially Fiona said, Dad, Julianne said, Dad, we all know everything anyway. We love you. We know who you are. We know what your heart is and what and Fiona said, Daddy, don't ever let anybody ever tell you what you can or cannot say and what you can or cannot write. You write it, and that's it. And I've stuck with that, and I stick with it, and that's the way she writes. She puts it out there, and when she writes her songs, when she was so little, and writing her first big hit came out, the young women had all this stuff in their head, and they heard her song and said, "That's me, that's me. Oh my, that's me." And it was like an avalanche. And she went on stage for the first time in front of a big audience in Paris, in front of this huge audience. There's a little girl in the piano like that. And she came back and it was big. And the first time I saw her on a big theater was here at the Universal Theater. And she came in by helicopter or whatever. And it came in and who else? It was wonderful people. But at the show, and the place was packed. And towards the end, then here's Fiona Apple. And this little girl walks out on stage and climbs up on the piano bench almost, sits down and plays this song and sings quietly. And you have never, ever heard such quiet in an audience. It's like in your whole life. And she blew the roof off of that place. And I said, I'm looking at this little girl who used to sit over there at that piano and play this. And she's sitting in there. And of course, then I saw her many times at concerts after that. But that first time, it's saying, wow.
I think they call that nachas, what Jewish people say.
I had nachas like you wouldn't believe.
Well, we have a lot of nachas talking to the full of stories, the vibrant Brandon Maggart. We have just a couple of minutes left, but I want to remind people that they can get some of your books, including the memoir Behind These Eyes, Such Sweet Madness Lies. But you've also, what's your most recent book that people can, is that the one or is it the later? There's much later ones than that, yeah.
I think the latest one is Where Possums
Dance and the Willows Sing.
Possums Dance and the Willows Sings. It involves being, well, it kind of says itself. Where I tell a story about being out and seeing possums getting up. They play dead, or they don't play. They faint.
Oh,
yeah, that's what happens. A possum gets frightened, they faint. They fall over, and then they get up and go away. It's
But what is is it a children's? I mean, what is the actual thing in the book? What's the?
Oh, it's like what with the other ones were bananas and women and booze. What's that title?
Whiskey something and booze.
Whiskey, women, and banana peels. That's easy to explain. Whiskey, I've already talked about. Women, I've already talked about. Banana peels, that's whiskey and women, and I stepped on the banana peels usually. That's that one. But the other one was I just was well, they just Where Possum Dance and the Willow Sings. It's about a lyrical thing about being out in the woods and being with seeing possums dance and being frightened and thing, and being by the river and the willow sings. I wrote a song about hearing the willow sings in the river. I've written a lot of songs and plays, and I've written a lot of my own stuff and a lot of songs that were, as Marshall Barry used to say, the hills are alive with the sound of my unpublished music, you know. But
let me ask you, what have you been working on most recently then? Are you working on another book, a novel, short story?
Oh, I'm working on the book of a lifetime.
Yeah, your lifetime.
I'm trying to get Kamala Harris elected president.
All right. Yes. Yes.
I'm on Facebook. I don't know. Every day, I'm talking to the public. I'm telling stories, talking to the public, and some way, I've got to talk to my Bible Belt people, get through to them, the national, and I'm through to. It's so encouraging that there's so many. I'm in touch with a minister, a Methodist minister, a woman, and that she's marvelous, and she sees it too. That this is not Christianity. It's the Bible. We talked about the Bible. The Bible. I stick to love thy neighbor as thyself, and that's it. The rest of it is, love thy neighbor. Love. That's God is love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's it. The other stuff you can argue about. Think of the 100 Years' War. Christians, Protestants and Christians fought for 100 years about who's right. What sense does that make?
I mean, if it was 97 years, I would understand, but 100 years is just that's pushing it, I think.
That's another thing too. I went to a Seder on Long Island. My friend Susan from Great Neck went there, and I mentioned Jesus, and they said, "I love Jesus. We hate Jesus." And it wasn't that because at the time, the Christian church in Germany looked the other way. Looked the other way. Adolf Hitler said, "Look the other way." I have no excuse for that, except for a couple of priests who ended up, one dead and one died in concentration camp.
That's why the others look the other way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I said, no, that shouldn't they? Jesus, they co-opted Jesus. What Jesus said was love thy neighbor as thyself. Even in Rome, the politicians took it over. They took it over. Donald Trump comes in, holds his Bible upside down. Can you think Donald Trump could tell? He can't quote a verse from the Bible to save his life. But when they co-opted, Jesus was fine with me. But when she said that, I said, no, it wasn't Jesus. It's what they did with Jesus. Just stick with love thy neighbor. Okay, that's all.
I'm more of a respect thy neighbor, because you can't force somebody to love somebody else, but you can force them to respect.
Well, love is interpreted. You can love your dog, love your kid, but
if you love your dog, you should be arrested, depending on what you're doing to it. That's something we don't want to go near. But yeah.
I wish you had time. I'm working on a song. How much time we have left?
Well, yeah, we'll go to the top of the hour, because I do want to ask you about Sesame Street before we go. But please, if you want to share a song, I would love to hear it.
Ask me about Sesame Street. I work a song I'm going to sing pretty soon. I'm just going to sing the first, from Milk and Honey. I will follow you. I am ready to go wherever you happen to lead me, just in case you might happen to need me. All that you have to do is turn around, and I'll be following you. Kamala.
Well, that was Milk and Honey, you said. That was from the Jerry Herman show, right?
That's the Milk and Honey, which I sing at the end of what I'm going to sing now. I set it up by singing. I'm just singing the first line.
Sure.
From Camelot. By order, spring will stay throughout September. Camelot? Camelot, that's right. By order, spring will stay throughout September. Our Halloween has grifters on the run. On holidays, we hug a total stranger here with Camilla. So I have a whole lot of wonderful things to sing. And at the end, I sing, I will follow you, Camilla. Don't you love that? I will follow you. There's wonderful.
So you're saying you're going to be doing this at your 91st, or when and where are you going to be doing this?
I'll do that 91st. I might do a little of it on at Maud's show in a couple of weeks out here, but she'll let you know. I said,
yeah.
I told Maud not to promote me in the show, so she's probably going to just pull me up on stage, and we'll talk a little bit about shows, and I might sing a little bit. So I don't want to go anything like that. All right, you wanted to ask me about Sesame.
Yeah, last question for Brandon Maggart, because you were in the pilot of, and also the first episode of.
No, the first season, the whole first season.
Yeah.
I had to leave because they didn't want to pay me. They wanted to they said, well, we have to approve any roles on the television or films you do. I said, wait a minute. I can't go to people and say, wait a minute, I got to get approval from Sesame Street to even read for you people. Or if they want me, they got to get approval. I said, I can't do that. And by the time that time, we'd already done the first year anyway. So it's a long story, but that's why one of the reasons, but the main reason I couldn't go back. And
Jim, they wanted to make sure you weren't appearing in any like R-rated movies or.
I turned down the starring role in a movie that they didn't even know about, because I said I didn't like it. It was disgusting, and I didn't want children they wouldn't see the movie anyway. But I turned it down. I didn't check with them. I just turned.
Not Cowboy. Oh. Or no, I'm kidding. Do you remember what movie was it? Did they make it?
What? Oh, some movie, Cry Uncle. John Avildsen directed. He directed
Rocky. This is the guy who went on to make Rocky.
He wanted me to do this movie, and I said, "Oh, I can't do it. I just can't do it." Anyway, he's a wonderful guy, wonderful director. He's gone now, I think. Well, anyway, they did the movie without me.
Any memories, though, of working with or for Jim Henson or CTW, Children's Television Workshop?
Let me talk about Jimmy Catuzzi first. He was my partner. We did a thing called Buddy and Jim. You should look those up. Those were classics. Hollywood went crazy. They flew us out a couple of times, to see if we could do a remake on the Jerry Lewis Show movie. I mean, this, that, yeah, they never could work. They wanted to do a pilot with us of The Odd Couple. And then at the last minute, they changed that. They had trouble with Sesame Street and this and so forth. But if you want to ever got any time, if you have children, to look up Buddy and Jim on Sesame Street, you will laugh your caboose off.
I just got a message handed to me that I'm needed for an emergency bris. So I need to perform this before it.
Rabbi, it's been great. It's been great with me chatting with you, listening.
It absolutely has. Remember, folks, if you happen to be in California and you're seeing, oh, look, the baby's crying in the back. If you're gonna go see Maud Maggart in a couple of weeks, is she at the Gardenia Room or where is that?
Gardenia Room out here. By the way, I went to a bris once. No, not doing it.
It wasn't your own. As long as it's not your own, it's not so.
You people. Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about? Don't throw that away. Oh, they save them. They use them for fish bait. Anyway,
give it to the waitress as a tip. No, I'm kidding. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Maggart, what a delight. Well, please come back to us. Tell us more stories, because there's half the questions I wanted to ask. I didn't even get a chance. But so many stories, so many books. Wishing you, obviously, good luck, good health, much mazel, more writing, even more performing, perhaps. Just have a wonderful, wonderful life. Thank you so much.
Mazel tov.
Shalom to you. Bye-bye now. Brandon Maggart in the Daverhood. Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that fun? So many interesting. I mean, just one story would take all this time, and obviously he's got 50 stories to tell. So we want to bring him back and have him tell more. But oh, what a delight. And I hope you're delighted with me too. I'm Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. You can find out more about me by going to my website, shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. And you can hear my rabbinical reflections. There are links to all my interviews. You can watch my stage show, because I am a theatrical performer myself, even though I'm somewhere in the, I'm also in the baritone range. Amazingly enough, they didn't want me for applause or, didn't even get to ask about Lauren Bacall. Oh well, next time. Next time with Brandon Maggart and me, Rabbi Sol. And now it's time to bring back Dave to do more of the Dave's Gone By program live on this Shabbos morning. Until I see you next time, have a good one. Well, yes, indeed. It is the... wait, is Rabbi Sol doing... Oh. He shouldn't really be using a pizza wheel to do that. I just... Oh, no. There's some soldering going on. They can always glue it back if he does it wrong. It's, yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, so thrilled. Actually, it's such a delight to have Brandon Maggart and Rabbi Sol in the Daverhood on our 957th episode of Dave's Gone By.
You want the fan?
With me? No, I'm okay. Are you warm?
Okay. No.
It is August 24th, 2024. So, yeah, we have done so many of these shows, and you can go to davesgoneby.com to watch and listen to all the older ones. I mentioned that, we started 22 years ago almost. Virtually every program we ever did is saved and salvaged on the website, davesgoneby.com. You can also find our archives at archive.org. We don't own that website. It's a not-for-profit that gathers art and entertainment and whatever the hell this is. We have our channel there, Dave's Gone By, and all our shows and all our interviews are there as well. Plus, you can listen to our audio archives at castbox.fm. We have the Dave's Gone By channel, castbox.fm, specifically for podcasting and listening to the show if you don't care about the visuals. And what else? And we've got a YouTube channel, Dave's Gone By, and so forth. But the main place to start is davesgoneby.com. Anyway, how you doing, hon?
Good. I was very concerned about the interview and guests. I thought it was going to go for an hour and a half, but it did.
It was supposed to go a half hour.
Yes, and that's what.
But when you talk to someone who has 60 years in the entertainment, 90 years of life, you kind of have a lot to to say and a lot to deal with. So it was kind of cool, and to hear we don't have music on the show. I hope we don't get dinged from ASCAP because he's singing Jerry Herman and
No, but there's no music. He's just singing.
I know, but the lyrics and whatever. So please, YouTube, don't block the damn show. Please, Facebook, don't ding us for having.
He used his hands a lot, so perhaps that distracted this.
Well, and that's why people might have thought he was Jewish. So anyway, thank you again to Brandon Maggart, and thank you all of you for watching. We have more to do on this episode of the program. So yes, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up, where we're going to Arickaree, Colorado. That's a thing. It's a neighborhood called Arickaree.
That's not true.
It is indeed true. It's actually easier to find than some of the other places that we have done on the show.
Arickaree, Colorado.
Check it out.
Oh my God.
We'll also have our friends in the neighborhood, and we will have, what else? BUNION Watch maybe. And Dave's Big Dick. dictionary, where our word of the day is jeremiad. At some point, I'm going to have to talk about or using that word or something about whatever jeremiad brings into this old brain extemporaneously with you.
These unusual names.
What, jeremiad? That's
no, Arickaree.
It's the Wikipedia page called Colorado Places. Half of them are ghost towns or former post offices, but Arickaree's a neighborhood.
And give me the word. Did you use the word?
Jeremiad. I haven't done jeremiad yet. What there?
Are you? I don't think you're gonna read Pout Pout Fish.
I don't think we're gonna have time for
I
book.
moved my appointment later today, so we have time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. So we can go and do what we got to do. So that's cool.
Well, I don't want you to feel pressured with time either.
Oh, thank you. No, we'll finish up around noon or 12:30 or 1 or 1.
To a yard sale, it wasn't so good.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so disappointing.
Why was it bad? You loved the yard sale. That's where we got squirrel.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh God, so much to unpack. So yeah, we have a rotted toy squirrel carcass in the car.
I used to have a picture of him, but my mailbox is full.
No. We gotta clear that out. But yeah, so sometimes I find I love yard sales. I love garage sales, estate sales. I enjoy them. Even most of the time, I don't buy anything, or I'll buy a little tchotchke for nothing. I've wanted so much to buy that desk that time. I don't know why they were so weird about it, but
they wouldn't separate. No, I deleted it, honey. I'm sorry.
No, but I should have bought what they were charging for it. I should have bought them both and junked one.
I know.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Ethan Allen bedroom.
It wasn't a desk. It was the cabinet that went with your.
Yes. And I still eating myself up about that. But so we pass when we're driving home from either where we teach or other stuff, and a lot of times we'll pass right on the main drag of the road that goes there. You don't normally see this on a main drag. Usually garage sales and yard sales, you'll see a sign with an arrow, and then the arrow points like there, and then there's another arrow 2 blocks down, go this way to these little side streets. But this one is like yard sale right there on like the corner of where all the traffic's going. So you can't miss it. And it's been up there for like 3 weeks. So I'm like, ooh, yard sale coming, August 22nd through the 24th. Fine, great. And so I passed it coming home yesterday, and then and all this stuff is out on the lawn, like the front lawn. I mean, you can literally see it there. So I turn, I go.
What kind of stuff? Like what kind of thing?
Yard sale stuff.
Okay.
Women's clothing.
Clothing is a hard one.
Yeah, nothing really.
It's always disappointing, you know.
The only thing that was really nice, out right there on the lawn, was this big blue sleeper sofa.
Oh wow!
It was in really nice condition, but it was a sleeper sofa. So I guess it pulled out. It was and what do you think they were charging for the sofa? Not that we need.
$300.
$850.
Was it like a name brand sofa?
I didn't even look.
They should sell it to the home. You know, we have a lot of places around here that do that.
No, but Restore is not going to pay $850.
Not Restore. What do you call it? Like the.
Oh, the thrift. I know what you're talking about.
What's the name of it?
Consignment kind of shops.
Yeah.
I know what you. Maybe they will.
After the event.
But and everything else was your typical little. They had. If I was still into it, they had 78s, which was kind of nice. They had like operas.
Is it every day, all day, or was it what was?
Well, see, I think today is. Well, we can go.
No,
I'll take you. You don't like to go in the houses anyway. You like the lawn stuff because you can go into the house. Because it's obviously someone who was. House was nicely cared for, but it was obviously someone who old and moved or passed or whatever. And
what was in the house? Like furniture?
just more tchotchke stuff, but
okay.
Kitchen. The same thing you see in a lot of these. Some kitchen things.
Yeah.
Old 78s and like this scrapbook album from must have been 1940s where there was nothing in it. It was just like this old book with yellowed pages.
Oh yeah.
For the right person or for a prop.
Yeah,
it would have been,
or somebody's like, there's the whole like people who do retro stuff and we're like antiquing or whatever. Yeah.
If you go to these places with an eye of like, they don't know how valuable that is. That's $4.
Like if you hear them on the phone, they're going through and checking price value of things.
Are they really? Yeah. So fine for them.
Because now you can take a picture and scan it on Google search and see what things are.
But even so,
that,
But you go to these, but there's going to be like 80 things scattered along the house. If you have the time, it's like this
They do.
anything,
You see
this
them.
people
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not built that
Maybe that's
way.
their job, you know, part of their job. Or like if you have a good eye and you know what you're looking for, you could probably.
Well, remember we used to watch that show
the
called
Antiques Roadshow. No?
Not Antiques, the other one, the one where they would go find like
Oh,
roadside
yeah.
or
like some guy who like collects like porcelain in his garage or something.
yeah, or they find a Michelob sign and
Yes.
say, oh, that hung in the bar.
Yes,
That's a vintage Michelob sign. That's worth.
Yeah, Pickers, American
Yeah,
Pickers.
yes.
Pickers, American
Pickers, yeah.
Pickers, something.
Yeah. I belong to the Nose Pickers Club.
Oh, look who's getting mad. They haven't been out yet.
Oh, here comes Chicken.
Oh,
Oops.
God,
Chicken
he killed himself in the light.
We do it. All right, hold on. Chicken is here. I don't know if we'll have a chicken alert on
I think they're
Greeley
mad
Times.
that they're being upstaged by the Cowboys.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
they
yeah.
want to be with them.
Oh.
Because like Home on the Range, Cowboys and Jenny.
Yeah, but this chicken looks like it's already been on the spit.
He had some kind of look at his little look at him.
Yeah.
He's had a rough day.
Yeah. This is what happens when you don't have children. You spend time with this, and you spend time
They're very cute.
with these.
They're very cute.
Thing is, you don't outgrow your own childhood. That's what happens. You just become like, age 8 forever.
Yeah, but we do adulting. We do adult things.
We're forced to.
Yeah, I know.
If I didn't have to teach, if I didn't have to, pay a bill.
I think the problem is also only children. That's unique. Only children are such a different breed of children because when you have siblings and stuff, you have relationships, you do all sorts of stuff. When it's just you, I think it's very different. People don't understand the only child. It's. I know they've written books and stuff, but I think that experience is so different than being a singleton.
Yeah.
Rather than being with other children.
I think, but I can't compare it because both of us. I know what it is to be
That's
an only child.
Tolerate each other. I think.
Yeah. Well, it helps. I think we are. But even Brandon, who was just talking to the rabbi, he had gotten some achafam. I think he was one of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So a whole big family. What did he love to do? Just have some solitude.
Yeah.
Go to a place where he could just go into his head. I mean, as singletons, we completely understand that.
He was a very interesting man.
Oh, it was very, very cool.
I was concerned because he was in early and he thought the interview started at 9:30.
Yeah, no, I thought I was pretty clear. I mean, it's always tough when you're
it's like,
coastal.
When I did the review, remember I used to review for that organization, I would review the trainers that are all over the world, and I was like, the time zones, it would switch my calendar, not there,
Because you can say Eastern time, but then it's like, so. But I'm thrilled. It worked out. It was great. So I'm delighted to have had him on the show. So what? So the yard sale, we'll pass by there probably today. We can stop in or walk around. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it was not the worst yard sale I've ever seen. But I was looking around like going, nothing really. I mean, also I used to go to yard sale for books or for CDs that I don't, That's half the things I used to get at these things. Yeah. Old sex toys, you don't see those much. Oh yeah, how am I doing? Am I on there?
I can't see. It looked good. What's her name? I gotta tell you, a lot of people liked it, but I couldn't.
Oh, good.
See.
My wife is just checking our Facebook feed to see if anybody said hi or gave us thumbs up or smileys.
Janelle O'Sullivan. Janelle.
Oh, yay. Hi, Janelle. Thank you. All right, so let's move on with the show because we have more to do. As I said, we've got the Limerick coming up. We've got Friends of the Daverhood, but we haven't done Greeley Times yet. So let's...
Here, the things you advertised are Brandon, Greeley Times, Bunyan Watch, Dictionary, and Limerick of the Damned.
So we've done Brandon, which is great, and we've done almost nothing else. We picked the word of the day, but we haven't talked about it yet, so I've got to do that. Let's get to Greeley Times, which is based on a column that appears weekly in the Greeley Tribune, a real newspaper out in northern Colorado, the Greeley Trib, where they get...
Dr. Dre Bot wrote a message on your thing saying, I don't know much about the book, Brandon's book, but I believe that through your introduction I will learn more knowledge. Thank you very much for sharing. I left you a message and we can discuss more about this information.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Dre Bot. Thank you so much. Yeah, I get these posts, And some of them are so close, Mal.
Yeah,
Some of them are like,
the languages.
they're really talking like a human being, you know, and you can't, you know, yeah. The joys of AI. But this is still real. People call the police department.
It shows you the reviewers to the...
Oh, isn't that nice?
But I don't know how to... A lot of people looked at the thing, yeah.
Well, good. So they call the cops, and they get a dispatcher on the phone. And they're like, help, can you check this out in my neighborhood? And
there's a man with no pants doing the...
Actually, that may be, that's part of the thing.
Last week there was a man with no pants. Remember
There's usually a man with no pants.
Or there was a man like with a bat, a plastic bag, and his pants falling down trying to get a hot dog at McDonald's or something like that. Right?
Something like that.
Yes,
so, wait, that was me.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the text, sorry.
So they call it Coplog in the Greeley Tribune. We call it Greeley Times on Dave's Gone By. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Coplog, well, which turns into Greeley Times. So these are actual phone calls with the identifiers stripped from the last week or 2 or 3 or 4 that came into the police department in northern Colorado. For example, I'll get it. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Where are you?
Teeth phone.
Oh, I need my tooth phone for this. Yeah, thank you very much. There we go. A caller at a restaurant on 10th Street in Greeley, Colorado, said that a DoorDash driver, quote, came inside with an attitude.
Ooh.
So the restaurant canceled the order, and the driver refused to leave. So wait, why would a restaurant call for DoorDash?
No. So, I learned this. So what happens is, remember like when we go to like yesterday we were with that restaurant, there was the rack of food?
Yeah.
So let's say that you order food like for yourself. The company doesn't deliver it. So the like Honeygrow or whoever will... So the DoorDash guy will say, oh, look, I'm looking for David's food. Let me get the bag and go.
And the restaurant canceled the order.
Even like, let's say the bagel place or any place where you order food, the DoorDash will pick up their deliveries and deliver.
So the order got canceled somehow, and the driver was just like, I'm not leaving until
I guess the person might be contacting the DoorDash driver saying, get my food, and then the people are saying, we don't have it, and then he's a middleman, and then the customer's saying, I want my food, and the restaurant's saying, we don't have it, it was canceled, but then the DoorDash guy he knows he'll get a bad rating.
Oh.
Right, and they'll give him or her a bad review and say they didn't do a good job, they were, so I think like a lot of this, everything you do is like, please rate me.
It's Door Hope's dad.
Yes, DoorDash Hopes.
Oh, DoorDash Hopes, that's better, yes.
Here we go.
Thank you. Excellent. Wait. Oh, I think it's very, I hear another caller.
Oh.
Another caller coming through. Oh, there we go. I knew it was coming. I knew it. Okay, I got it on the chicken phone. I got it. Yeah, hello. A caller on Promontory Parkway. Woo! Reported a man walking down the center of the road, taunting cars. Volvo. Like, how do you taunt? What do you do? It's like, you have dents. You got a bad dent there.
Wow.
And I guess when he said walking down the center of the road, I guess like
maybe the
cars here.
Middle of the street, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's not good.
Now, hon, I want to, don't want to be shocked or scared or startled by this.
Good.
But notice that I'm picking up 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's behind your ear. That's your phone.
Because we have.
Oh wait, I don't have the thing.
Oh no, we need noise. Where's the noisemakers?
No, I need something special. Hold
Uh
on.
oh. Yeah. Okay. Because there's an alert coming.
If you want to remove any of the chickens, here's the chicken removal device.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll do it after the alert because guess what?
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I gotta get myself. Okay.
It's a chicken alert! Chicken alert! Chicken alert! Oh my God! Chicken alert! Which means just that we have a story about chickens.
Would you like to say it into the future?
Yes, I think I would. Oh, yes.
Make the volume higher, yes.
Here we go. Chicken alert. A caller on 6th Avenue said that a neighbor had chickens that were going into the caller's yard and destroying her plants. It's a lot. That's a bit much.
Oh.
But yeah.
So what happened? We don't
half
know.
of them is no follow-up. It's just a phone call.
Ask the chickens, they'll tell you.
So what happened? They don't speak English. This
Oh, do you
is
speak? You don't speak chicken.
No.
We didn't think this through.
Wait. Oh.
What?
They called off. They just took a walk around the block. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's time for another phone call, don't you? Oh yeah. Ooh. I'll take
God,
the.
be careful.
Oh.
If you turn that on, you're in big trouble.
It's a phone. It's just a mega phone. Yeah, I'm on it today. A caller at an apartment complex,
Yes.
as opposed to an apartment simplex,
Yeah.
on 86th Avenue reported a drunk older man threatening to fight a teenager and making women at the pool uncomfortable. I guess they were sitting on his lap or something. So, yeah. You figured, like, teenagers and children would be the most annoying, obstreperous things at a pool. But a drunken older guy,
I guess
like,
he could fall in the pool. He could harass people.
I guess he was threatening to fight a teenage boy. And then all the women in the pool were like,
Maybe he got his time. That was his downtime from walking the highway. And he was like, "I'm done."
Yeah, I could use a dip. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh. I gotta be careful because I'm using the pincer's phone. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right, caller at a hotel. On 8th Street.
8th and 8th?
Not 8th and 8th, but close.
Mm-hmm.
Said a man was throwing water on guests as they walked into the building.
That's nice.
It was a really hot day.
I think that's called a sprinkler. Maybe that's a pool or spa. Some kind of spa treatment.
Yeah.
You pay a lot of money for spa treatment.
Well, remember when we were in Vegas and we'd go to the hotel and literally you would walk under spritz.
Yeah, it would mist. Yeah.
And by the time you got to the hotel door, it had dried. Because it's friggin' Vegas.
I don't know what was happening.
And then there's just, they told you it was spritz and there was like guys spitting on you.
It's a bucket challenge or something.
That could be it. By the way, we're doing Greeley Times here on Dave's Gone By. Actual, real phone calls and complaints coming to the Greeley Police Department. For example, this one, which is, let me go with the poo phone.
Oh, no.
I always have to wash my ear after that. A caller on 46th Avenue said a man was holding a jug of lemonade and screaming at people.
We hope it was lemonade.
We hope it. That's exact. Yes, we hope.
I would not.
We hope.
I would worry that was not lemonade.
Yeah. That's no country time in there. That's this Minute Maid because he made it in a minute. If you know what I'm saying. Oh, let's do one more. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Let's hear. Oh, here we go. Let's have. I'll go to the megaphone again. A caller on 11th Street said that his neighbor was name calling over a traffic dispute. Okay. The neighbor said he felt like shooting the caller with a gun before going back inside. Would you call it? Yeah, I think I would call it.
That's a real
that
one.
constitutes.
That doesn't seem like a fake one. That should be a real one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we say fake, all of these are real calls. Yeah.
That's like an emergency one.
Yeah, that's
like
something where even if he's just mad, I could kill you.
I think that should be upscaled, right?
Because it's one thing to say, oh, I would love to kill you.
Or
It's another, I
couldn't
couldn't get a gun.
I hate you. But
Yeah. That's.
I'm surprised that one was. I hope that was followed up on.
I'm guessing it would.
I hope so.
Oh yeah. All right, one more here, and then we'll get to an elsewhere because we do have an elsewhere for you. Tooth bone.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, oops. There we go. That's okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a lot of flowers today. No, you have a lot of flowers today. Look at all your flowers.
I know. I love. Wait. Yeah. It goes with my shirt. Yeah. Where are you? Wow, he's chattering. He must be scared.
It must be cold. Yeah.
A caller on 11th Street said, "Oh no, that's right. That was
What?
This is a caller on 46th Avenue."
Oh wow, we're going uptown.
So they said that a 16-year-old was walking around checking doors to see if they were unlocked.
Oh, nice.
People contacted the teenager because they did follow up on this.
Good.
What do you think was going on?
I don't know what.
The teenager was handing out business cards trying to find lawn mowing work.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, right? You know, it's like, I'd probably do it. It's going to be probably a little cheaper, I hope, than what we're paying to mow a lawn. But, yeah. Oh, so that wasn't so bad either. The earlier ones were funnier. Let's get to our elsewhere. So, even though we call this Greeley Times, and it's based on things going on in northern Colorado, we do go every week to one other place for a story from somewhere else. Could be all over the world. We're not going, well, actually, we're not going so far from Maryland, but pretty far from Colorado. We're going to Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. Hollidaysburg. Isn't that a lovely name? And so appropriate when you say holiday for this story. And I know you're going to hate this one, I think. And you'll know why by the third word. A Pennsylvania groundhog has made a name for himself for something other than predicting an early fall or spring. An intrepid varmint, I love that, varmint, named Colonel Custard. Well, they named him that for the frozen custard shop and mini golf outlet where he was discovered. Where do you think they discovered him?
Hopefully underneath their barn.
No. Because, well, this is an in-joke between my wife and me because we have a groundhog, not our pet, but who has stationed himself under our shed in the backyard and goes romping around the yard for half the day, which I love to watch, and she just hates him. You've taken this dislike to our groundhog, our woodchuck, if you will. So this is not ours. This is one they found in Pennsylvania. Where do you think they found him in this thing that had both?
He was in the ice cream place.
Frozen custard shop, yeah.
I'm looking up hotels. They have a lot of nice
But where? Specifically where?
In the ice cream machine.
Close.
In the bathroom.
You were closer, sort of.
I don't know where. In the kitchen?
No, this is so cute. He was stowed away in one of those glass things where you do the hook thing for stuffed animals.
Oh God.
So they were about to play a stuffed animal thing, and there was this really cute little groundhog who was actually alive and blinking.
Oh God.
Inside the machine. Apparently, he went through a thing and got up through the thing because they do.
Yeah.
Players were maneuvering a mechanical claw to pluck toys from the case when they realized a real live groundhog was blinking back at them. This picture is so cute. Oh my God. It took a village to set the varmint free, according to.
Let me see, where should I look up? Okay.
Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania groundhog.
In Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania.
Because you literally can't tell the toy from
custard.
Yeah, the frozen. Yeah.
I can tell the toy.
From the real one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You can't tell that's a groundhog?
The toy, because there's a toy groundhog in there, I think.
They have it circled, but you can see he's right there.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Wait, I guess that is him. That's there. First of all, there he is.
Give it to me.
That doesn't look like his face. That's. So employees first called the claw machine owners, but they didn't want to deal.
That's him in stuffed machine here.
There's a cuter picture of him though. Oh, there we go. That's it. Look how cute. Look at him. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? My wife just hates him. Hates groundhogs. But look at so when the people who made the machine wouldn't deal with it.
They have to. Who deals with it?
No, the police. And the police didn't want to deal with it. The police called the Pennsylvania Game Commission. Wardens then came, they opened the machine and released the groundhog into a nearby field. So, happy. Hollidaysburg, by the way, is a full hour from Punxsutawney by car. So it wasn't Phil. It was obviously they have groundhogs there in PA.
So as a stowaway groundhog is elevated to a local icon.
Yes! The custard shop is cashing in on their little celebrity. They have T-shirts now that read "Respect the Groundhog." They held a naming campaign.
See a live version of it here.
Oh yeah. Oh God, is there video? I didn't even see the video.
More than just ice cream on their trip to a local ice cream shop.
All right, Marty, they witnessed one furry friend of...
Yeah. Because they had a campaign to name him.
That's great stuff.
It certainly is. And this happened at the Meadows Original Frozen Custard in Hollidaysburg. You have to take a look at this, everyone.
Oh!
Right here. Yeah, that is a groundhog on your screens. Found its way into the claw machine that's located in the mini golf shack behind the Meadows. The owners say that they aren't sure how the groundhog got in there, but luckily it was safely recovered by animal rescue.
Yep.
Now keep in mind, that's not a stuffed animal.
That's not.
a real groundhog.
But it looks
Thank you, Ted
like
Knight.
a stuffed animal, right?
Sitting in there.
All right. So anyway, that's
Something like that.
better stop that in case
No.
with too much content that's from copyright there. But yeah. The manager of the store, Lynn Castle, said, quote, "It's a good story that ended well. He got set free. No one got bit."
But also, like, then, what is it called? What's the name of the town?
Hollidaysburg with 2 L's.
Hollidaysburg Groundhog and Toy Machine. I want to see the logo.
Yes, and
What's
the
the
T-shirts.
name of the place?
Oh gosh, I didn't put down the name of the actual like place of the golf course and the custard store.
I did shopping. Let's see. Oh no.
No.
I'll look to see what. I'm gonna look to see what place it was. I'll do that. Okay. Colonel Custard.
Yeah, that's what they named him. There was a campaign to name, and they brilliant. They called him Colonel Custard.
I think it's called Meadows.
Yeah, they said Meadows on that TV clip. Let's see if they're really
Meadows
going with
ice cream in
Hollidaysburg.
Hollidaysburg. Let's see. I'm gonna go to their website.
Now I want ice cream.
You can have it. They got frozen custard. I want to see if they have any merch. Oh, they're everywhere. Look, they have like a lot of.
Oh, it's a chain?
Yeah, they have some in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Whoa,
It's a.
we're not that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
I don't know. I don't see the. Which is the one he was found at? Oh wait.
The one in Hollidaysburg. Do they actually have it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that one.
Oh boy.
So they have the store.
Yeah. Did they update their website to sell like
They don't
groundhog
have-
merch?
No.
Oh,
Let's see if they have any social media. Looks like they don't.
oh, what a waste. They should be capitalizing on this as we speak.
Nutrition, FAQs, menu.
Thank you. We don't have groundhog on the menu.
I'm gonna say okay. The Meadows Frozen Custard on Facebook.
Let me see.
The Columbia one has it. Maybe they'll share it.
Because the one thing I'm curious about is once they cleared him out of that thing, do they have to now clean the machine from groundhog shit? I mean, what do you poop? No, I mean, he's been in there for like a day and a half, 2 days. Would all the other toys be sort of covered with wildlife scat?
I'm sure you can't sell those. Yeah, I can't find them.
Oh. Well, anyway, it's a cute story. A story that ended well because no one got bit. Which I guess you could say for most of these other phone calls.
For most of the really crime stories, really, hopefully. We don't know because we don't have the follow-up. But this one, at least we know the follow-up.
Well, let's see how this works here.
Okay.
The restaurant, that the DoorDash restaurant one, the driver refused to leave.
Yeah.
No one got bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Man walking down the center of the road.
Mm-hmm.
No cars got bit. This is good. Caller with the chickens going in the yard destroying her plants. plants got bit, but nobody got bit by chickens. No. Oh yeah, I skipped over a couple of these. Let's do a new one. We got a phone call. A caller in an apartment complex on 8th Avenue said she felt threatened by the maintenance man, but then she refused to tell officers the apartment number.
Wow.
And no one got bit. So that's the most important thing. The guy who was holding the jug of lemonade screaming at people. Yeah. He had a straw, so we got sucked. Nobody got bit. And by the way, that joke was not dirty. It was a lemonade, straw joke. It was clean. So let's hold your horses there. Yeah. The guy throwing water. Nobody got bit. Nobody got shot or bit by the guy who threatened with a gun. Teenager handing out business cards. People got chopped. They didn't get bit.
He's lucky he didn't get bit by a paddle.
Yeah, actually. And one more for Greeley Times before we move on to other aspects of this program. A caller. We have a caller. I'll get it. On 11th Avenue, reported 2 men slamming a machete into a tree and saying they were going to kill someone. No one got bit. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Greeley Times for this Saturday, August 24th, 2024.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
But he is getting at his neck. Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Oh, my friends, it is a bit after 11:30 at this point already. Delighted to have this fun with you every Saturday on Dave's Gone By. For more information about the show, go to davesgoneby.com. More information about my writing, since we're talking before to Brandon Maggart about his writing and his books, his stories, his memoirs, and his songs and stuff. Remember that davelefkowitz.org is the place to read my writing, my plays, my songs, my articles, my interviews. In fact, we just posted the interview that I did with Kathy Griffin, the comedian, the wild and crazy comedian. Big story currently in Long Island Woman magazine. So that just came out in August, and it's the August-September issue. So now I put it up where you can read it on my website, davelefkowitz.org. It's quite the interview indeed. You don't want to miss it. And I want to thank also Long Island Woman and Ari. I don't know if I mentioned this.
You did, right?
When my interview with Maria Bamford, did I mention it?
No,
No, it won first place in the narrative. Yeah, I told you that. The Long Island Press Club personal narrative interview writing thing a couple of weeks ago. So, yay. I guess I can write.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, you can look for I think I posted the Bamford interview on davelefkowitz.org also, so you can read both of them.
Good.
All right, so more to do on this program, ladies and gentlemen, which includes Friends of the Daverhood, our Limerick. I don't know we haven't done Bunyan Watch in so long. Maybe I'll do Bunyan Watch right now, and then I'll go into Dave's Big Dictionary. Yeah, I need to. Oh, you know why? Because this sort of looks like a bunion.
Oh, is that what's triggering you?
So I'm going to use this as a marker. Bunyan Watch. We started. Oh my God! It was almost a year ago already. Because it was the beginning of the school year, right? It wasn't the fall. It wasn't the spring term. It was the fall term. I bought new sneakers, and they rubbed on top of my toe. Not the actual bunion, but it rubbed the toe. And I told people about it and wanted to share the sore skin on my bunion, or above my bunion. And then I would give you periodic updates about my feet. So. Because that's the kind of insane show that this is. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we do Dave's Big Dictionary, it's time. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done Bunyan Watch.
She's Bunyan, she really is a fun one, she's Bunyan. Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for Bunyanectomy. Bunyan.
As I said, these are the kinds of things you do when you don't have children. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to climb up on this carefully, and then these are the conditions. Look at my knees. I used to have such nice knees. Now I'm an old man. I still got good calves though. But this is all about the bunion.
I don't like you on the chair like David. No, get down.
Oh, look, I'm okay.
No. You're on the chair.
I'm not going to fall off.
You're
I'm
on the
holding
chair
the
on
wall.
one leg. No, this screams like urgent care.
Well, I've already got the bunion up against my pants. It's got the dark background.
You could sit on the chair and hold your leg up.
Look at. It's like I'm doing Tai Chi. Look, behold.
David, there's a bee.
Don't do that. Look, behold. There's my bunion. There's the bunionometer. So it looks big, but it's not bigger than it has been. It's the same size bunion, same color. Hasn't really changed or morphed in any way.
I'm holding it to compare to. Oh, okay.
Oh no! Now I gotta do the other leg. Here's my smaller bunion on my left foot, and this was the foot that caused it all, where I first got the little soreness from the shoe. Behold, see, not remotely.
I'm looking up bunion.
This is like the ray gun bunion in terms of Olympic
really?
bunion size. This is more like the DJ Smooth kind of bunion right there. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, Dave's Bunions. Live on August 24th, 2024. That, my friends, is... So if you were to compare this with this, see, this is larger. This is my bunion is large. I'll put it against the brown cushion there. It is large, but this is indeed larger. Wow. So, my friends, Bunion Watch for Saturday, August 24th, 2024, on the 957th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. With me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable and wonderful wife, and all of you watching at home. So, here's the deal. We have another segment now called Dave's Big Dictionary. It has to do with finding a word, a random word, unprepared for before the show, and then my having to use my skills, my power of extemporaneity. Because one thing, if you go back and listen to the early radio shows, so much of that material was scripted, except for the interviews. Really, the whole show for weeks was fully scripted out. I tried to make it sound natural, but I'm more of a writer in a lot of ways than just a speaker. So I felt comfortable writing everything out, writing in the jokes, timing everything. But later on, I got more comfortable at the mic and doing what I'm doing now. So it became a thing where later shows, I'm more just me off the top of my head, for better or worse.
More natural.
Do you hear it?
I think that's a...
Oh, I think we have gardeners or somewhere outside. They're doing some kind of, probably somebody mowing a lawn.
Oh, it's the neighbor. I don't know what he's doing.
Is that a generator on or something?
Yeah, he's no, it's the neighbor's son. He's got the
vibrator.
The,
he just stopped
what do you call it? He's doing the
electro dildo.
No, the what do you call it, David? The
magical nose trimmer.
No, they blow it. It's a big blower.
I'm closer with a dildo.
It's a big like
yeah,
the gardeners use
the leaf blower. Yeah. Well, thank you. Couldn't wait a half hour. Right? So, anywho, where am I going? I went to Limerick immediately. No, I don't need that. I need Dave's Big Dictionary.
Yeah.
Because so early on, it was unusual for me to speak off the cuff. I didn't trust myself to. I thought I would go up. I thought I'd go blank. I was going to sit there and stammer at the microphone, little knowing that within a couple of years, I would be on mic for like 5 hours doing these radio shows. And this song was then suddenly, half hour later, I would be Maggarting my way through an entire show. But so now it's not so special that I go off, but it's still a challenge to sort of like be hit with a word I'm not expecting. And like, Dave, that word.
You can do that, you
I'm into it.
You know language a lot.
Me like words. Me like words much.
What's the word for today? Say the word
So
again.
the word for today.
Give a definition for people.
Oh, I need. Hold on one more. my dictionary is right up there, the actual dictionary, which is, even though actually the one, the email that you sent me had it.
Might give you more layman's explanation.
So the word is going to be jeremiad. Jeremiad. Jeremiad was a bull. No. It's called Dave's Big Dictionary. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. So Merriam-Webster did the honors for us. They themselves choose a word of the day. So we've been going that for the past few months. And their word of the day is the word jeremiad, which is a noun. You have a jeremiad. And it has to do with a prolonged lamentation or complaint, also a cautionary or angry harangue. That's how I generally come to know it, of like a rant, a harangue. In fact, I had it up here before. A long cautionary or angry rant about something, and a prolonged lamentation or expression of great sorrow or deep sadness. His jeremiad about trivial problems with the campsite did not go over well with his friends. That's an example from Webster's.
What I should
dictionary.
do is link it, and then you could put it. So I just did word of the day as your thing, but I should link it.
Oh my God!
Link it. I'm gonna link it.
Yeah, link it, please, because
I don't know if it will let me pull from your email, but
yeah.
Sometimes no. Let me see. I'm gonna put it in there.
They even have stuff about jeremiad in context here, from a story in the Washington Post about a Josh Klein installation at the Whitney Museum. Klein's work transcends the jeremiad and grapples with the persistence of beauty. Okay, that's not how I'm going to use the word. I look better with glasses than I do without.
No, I put word of the day and I put the link.
Thank you very much.
I put the link for people.
But they do connect it here. They say Jeremiah was a Jewish prophet from about 650 to 570 BC, and he spent his days lambasting the Hebrews for their false worship and social injustice and denouncing the king. So he was basically an old crank complaining, lamenting. Also, when he wasn't bitching at people to stop what they were doing, he was bitching about his own life.
He had two courses of action.
So the book of Jeremiah,
he had two main themes,
which is really the main theme of every Jew's life. It's like, this is wrong, and this, I can't believe they're doing this, and what the hell is wrong with my life? This is every middle-aged Jew I've ever known or been. So a portion of his book, the book of Jeremiah, is his confessions, his lamentations on the hardships, and his unpopular messages. So Jeremiah is a pessimistic person who carries on with a Jeremiah. Yeah. Borrowed from the French word, they said jeremiad. Jeremiad. Everything sounds better in French. So, jeremiad. How can I talk about that? Well, I can't dismiss that word at all, because half of what I do on this program sometimes is a jeremiad, or certainly when Rabbi Saul gets going with his rabbinical reflections. It's essentially saying, everything is wrong, and here's why.
Yeah.
Here's why they should do this and this, and they're not doing this, and it makes the world a miserable place.
He and the guest would be in some kind of verbal discourse for like.
Yeah, but I do it. I mean, if I'm not doing it verbally, I'm doing it in my head. This constant jeremiad of like, I'll read something in the news, I'll read something on the New York Post or CNN, and even if there's nobody there to talk to, in my head it's sort of like the rant begins.
But it's the mental assessment, right?
Yeah, it's this idea of why the hell is the world like? Who is thinking of it? How is it possible? And the rant and the complaining begins. Yeah. So, or if I'm denied something, or I'm rejected for something, immediately I will get stuck on it, get vicious about it, curse everyone involved
in it.
And then
become excessively silly.
Yes. Well, that's the only thing that gets me out of it. I was turned down.
I thought not about the job thing. I thought you were going to do about the shrimp and the Mission Barbecue. We've been doing that for, how long has that been the black?
Yes, I have been
doing that since.
She's right.
You've been talking about that. I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna find the new black plate.
Well, Black Plate Special will change on Labor Day, but until then, it's still shrimp.
What's the black plate special for now at Mission Barbecue?
You'll hear it.
Here, okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
Here it is.
This is something you've been complaining about for 3 months, David.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of shrimp for like $13, $14 at Mission Barbecue, right? I mean that is for 3 months now.
Yeah.
Has been the Mission Barbecue Black Plate Special. It's like their big special, not on their regular menu. As opposed to prime rib, which they do. As opposed to smoked brisket, which they do. As opposed to a Hawaiian ribeye, which they do. So, yes, very often on this program I've gone off on a jeremiad against Mission Barbecue, thinking that people go to this barbecue place looking for shrimp. I mean, I can understand if they took like a salmon, they have salmon on the regular menu, but they found a different fish. And they threw it on them and they smoked it. I'm on a jeremiad. I mean, you know, and I can understand, but little tiny goddamn shrimp with a little sauce, 8 pieces of shrimp, more than $1 a piece. I am telling you. So of course I go on this jeremiad on the air and off. By the way, I'm not quite the same. I'm much more dark and I'm never quiet, but I'm not quite this personality in real life with my wife, etc., as I am on here.
Oh, okay.
But I'm close a lot of the time.
Yeah, you are.
So it's like my wife will be like, "Oh, we're gonna be near Mission Barbecue. Do you want Mission?" And I'll be like, "No, they have shrimp."
But you could buy ribs. They also still serve ribs.
But they're not on sale.
Remember when you first went there and they gave you the free sample of ribs and you were so happy? And then they gave you another free sample. And oftentimes they give us tea. They give us birthday treats.
Yes. Yeah, you do get, if you sign up, you do get a free sandwich on your birthday. So, yes, I've had great reasons to praise Mission Barbecue rather than to bury it. However, when they do shrimp as their Black Plate Special, and by the way, I did try it once. It was very tasty. But, you know, as my mother would say, it filled one tooth. Like 8 little shrimp. I was still starving after I ate it. $14 later, no meat! It's a barbecue place. So I would go on and on.
What about the people who need to have shrimp? Like,
who needs to have shrimp? Nobody needs to have shrimp.
Maybe people love shrimp, I guess.
You have to, if they want shrimp, they could go with Red Lobster.
Yeah, but we're like a crab cake state, so they have to have some seafood too.
Do they have crab? No.
I don't know, maybe they do.
Why don't they do crab? Why don't they do?
Because it's too expensive. Crab cakes are like $30 for one.
Well, you know what? You go to most places for a ribeye, it's $30. So, so they managed to do that. Yeah. That's the thing about Mission. You can get a yummy prime rib for about $13, $14. Comparatively, that is a great deal. It's very tasty.
Oh yeah.
Shrimp, you can get like yesterday. We went to what was it? Honeygrow. The first time we tried Honeygrow, and it was pretty. It was all right. It was decent. It was like sesame noodles.
I think you have to look into the seasoning more. You didn't seem to care for that seasoning.
Well, yeah, it tasted like sesame. It's not my favorite. What they do, I realize now, in Chinese restaurant, where they do cold sesame noodles, which I love when they do it right, and you can't always get it right. It's a mix of like peanut and soy and sesame, as opposed to sesame being the strongest flavor. Yeah. When sesame is the strongest flavor, I don't really like it as much.
But you can make your own next time too.
But also this thing that, you know, I got the shrimp as the protein on this thing. And it was like 5 shrimp. So it was very good. It was tasty. But it was like $13, $14 for this little container. I can get, if I go to a Chinese restaurant for like $9 and they do shrimp, you get 10, 14 shrimp in there.
You're back on your thing.
I'm doing a jeremiad. You know, I was turned down last week or 2 weeks for a job that I wanted, right? And a job that I would have been good for, right for, and would have done really, really well, but I was turned down. And my first instinct is to bitch and moan and say, well, oh, sure, I think I know what kind of person they're going to hire. You know, I'm middle-aged, I'm white, I'm not gonna be the right thing, and and well, my gosh, and so forth and so on. And then learned that the person that they hired had a qualification that I certainly did not, right? That I just, I wonder why, I wonder who they hired and why they hired, you know, a person and not me. And I wasn't even considered, you know, and then it was like, oh, okay. I got it.
It didn't stop you, and it still won't stop you.
No, it did. It stopped me pretty quick. Yeah, it did. As soon as when I came in and I told you, and I said, oh, I saw the person that was hired, and I said, well, guess what?
Yeah.
So immediately, but until then, you know, I spent a week grousing.
No,
and
you spent a week.
Jeremiah, being a Jeremiah, and having jeremiads.
Yeah.
Cursing everyone alive, particularly at the institution that I wanted to be a part of.
Yes.
So that's me. I mean, this is what you do. It's what you do when you're a writer, a performer, a comedian, a podcaster. If you take away the jeremiad, what happened? You took away the jeremiad from Howard Stern, or from Imus, or from who were the people before them? Morton Downey.
Anybody. Phil Donahue, too. I mean, he passed, but he would get stuck on something.
Yeah, we all would. And if we're entertaining when doing it, there we go. What do preachers do?
Oh, yeah.
You know, what are they up there doing? Sometimes they're trying to be funny about it, but a lot of the times the fire and brimstone guys are Jeremiahs, right?
Right.
And it just reminded me, apropos of nothing, since it's Dave's Big Dictionary, and I can go where I want, just reminded me of the word that we had a landlord when I was growing up that we hated, and his name was Jeremias.
Oh, really?
And I think we hated him more than he deserved. But, you know, we had a plaster thing in the bathroom that fell through, and it didn't get fixed for like a couple of weeks. And so you know, it was always Jeremias one fixed it. It was in our apartment in Brooklyn when I was growing up. Yeah. And, you know, he was always asking for more money, probably rent. Back then, it's $140 a month, in the 1970s. But I just remember how we all loathed the evil Jewish landlord Jeremias. And we were Jewish, but it was like, Jeremias! So we had Jeremiads about Jeremias, the landlord. So that also brings up that happy little memory. I think I've done it. I think
you did a good job.
Yeah.
I understand the word better now.
I'm going to sing it again. Jeremiah wasn't a bullfrog. Was not a good friend of mine. Or as Brandon Maggart kept saying, oi to the world on Dave's Big Dictionary. You're watching Dave's Gone By. It is almost noon, my friends. We're 3 hours into the program. Have a little bit more to do. We've done BUNION Watch. Oh my gosh, yes we have. We've done Dave's Big Dictionary. We've done Greeley Times. We've had our wonderful guest in the Daverhood, Brandon Maggart. Remember to buy his books. Remember also to come see his daughter, Maud Maggart, when she'll be performing at the Gardenia.
Do the girls ever perform together?
I'm sure they've been on some.
Yeah, they must.
Whatever. They may be on different coasts or live in different places, but I don't know. I honestly didn't. Rabbi anything to ask that. And Fiona is probably still working, or will be working on a new album in 4 more years or something. But Maud she's been on the show. She'll be performing at the Gardenia Room, and Brandon will be singing with her a song or two and telling stories of his life. So you're going to want to catch that. But we thank Brandon Maggart for being our brand new friend of the Daverhood. People who have been on this show over the years. And we consider them friends, we consider them family, and we like to keep you apprised of what they've been up to since they've been here. La 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 la. Thank you, Wolfgang. So here are some things that folks who've been on the show have been doing in recent times. For example, congratulations, speaking of writers, to our long ago friend, Chris Epting. He's written a new book called, I'm going to need my glasses now. His new book is called Where One Hears the Rain, and you can get that from Permuted Press. So Chris Epting, yeah, he used to, I forget what he first wrote about when he was on the show, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
So he's still writing, and that's
great.
great.
Guy, that tomato play, no.
No.
Why am I thinking of the tomato play?
Oh, no, because the guy at the Fringe, the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah, he won something, right?
The tomatoes tried to kill me, but banjo saved my life. And that was just over in Edinburgh. Might still be playing Edinburgh.
Oh, yeah, last week. I'm sorry.
What was it? And I remember the title like that, and I don't remember his name.
Chris.
This guy's Chris Epting, Epting, and his book is Where One Hears the Rain.
I'll look and see.
Which would be like Under Any
Chris
Roof.
Epting.
According to Google Books,
Ooh.
Chris Epting is a veteran music journalist who has co-written memoirs with John Oates, Leif Garrett, Def Leppard's Phil Collin, Tesla's Brian Wheat, and the Doobie Brothers' Tom Johnston and Pat Simmons.
Is that the same guy?
I don't think so. What kind of books he wrote?
Yeah.
I think he co-wrote.
Maybe he has shifted from music into fiction and other things. Well, congratulations anyway to Chris Epting for his new book. Congratulations also, Brandon Maggart mentioned acting with Tova Feldshuh. Well, she's so busy. She has a new YouTube video that she did, a short one, where she's basically pushing the Feldshuh Fund. This is kind of nice, for women's health. So for particularly women with ovarian cancer, this is her special fund that she has set up to help women with their health issues and ovarian cancer. So yay to Tova Feldshuh, of course, on that. I want to let you know that today, Katie Sullivan is at LTV Studios in the Hamptons. She's not taping a TV thing. She's doing her cabaret show. It's a room set up for cabaret, a nightclub.
Wow.
So go see Katie Sullivan today, or maybe it's tonight, in the Hamptons. I want to let you know that, oh my God, Marilyn May. Speaking of people who are up there, she is in her mid-90s, and she's going to be tomorrow at the Town Hall in Provincetown, Massachusetts, doing her cabaret show.
Wow.
I think she's 95. I'm not kidding. So yay to Marilyn May. This week, Chaz Palminteri on the 29th of August. He's doing, what else? His solo show, A Bronx Tale, and he'll be performing that at the Suffolk Theater in Patchogue on Long Island. They did a Broadway musical version of it, but this is his solo show that started everything. Gerard Alessandrini's Forbidden Broadway, Merrily We Stole a Song. That is going to be, they were thinking, actually, it had set dates on Broadway, and then they had to move it. So it's going to be off Broadway at Theater 555, starting on August 30th, and then running through the middle of September. Just as so for so many years, the various permutations of Forbidden Broadway would play off Broadway. So yay to Gerard Alessandrini. Want to let you know that The Sabbath Girl, Neil Berg's musical, is at the 59E59 theaters off Broadway. That's a Penguin Repertory production. Andre de Shields is in Cats, the Jellicle Ball. So it's a reworking of Cats, and that's at the Perlman Center on Fulton Street. And of course, want to remind you, Alan Menken, you can hear his music in Little Shop of Horrors, not only off Broadway, but Little Shop is being done at the Ogunquit Playhouse in Maine, now through the middle of September. Katie Huffman is directing the off-Broadway musical Empire at New World Stages. And then, I gotta load up even more Mozart for you here. This one, I'll start from the beginning there. Here it is. What else do I want to... So, on Broadway, Alan Menken's music is in Aladdin at the New Amsterdam Theater. And then, I know you can see Katie Sullivan today in the Hamptons, but then on Tuesday she'll be back at the Algonquin for her Tuesday evening shows. She does them every Tuesday. Katie Sullivan at the Algonquin. Now, on Monday nights, Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks hold court at Birdland. On Tuesdays, Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano are at Birdland. And of course, late night, Jim Caruso's cast party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets for all these events at birdlandjazz.com. Michael Garin plays at the Roxy Hotel Tuesdays through Saturdays. Seth Bisson-Hirsch has his talent showcase, and that is at Don't Tell Mama on Tuesday evenings. And then got to do some shout-outs to some very special people, as we always do. The editor of StageBuddy.com, my good friend Evan Seplow, and the writer for TheaterLife.com, CulturalDaily.com, and TotalTheater.com, David Sheward, plus Leslie Hoban-Blake, who co-hosts Two on the Aisle with our friend Charlie Gross. You can watch episodes on YouTube. Vicky Quaddy out there in Chicago doing Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun? And the show she co-wrote, Late Night Catechism. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. So, my friends, it's a little bit after noon already, live on this Saturday, August 24th, for the 957th edition of Dave's Gone By. Are we done? Are we through?
You need your limerick of the damned.
My wife is kind enough to remind me that the sickest, most tasteless, most disgusting part of the show is just not around the corner. It's here. We're ready for it. It is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, as she said. This is where I write every week a poem, a short 5-line poem about a different place in Colorado. Because my wife and I lived in northern Colorado for about 13 years. And it's a lovely place, and we saw these lovely towns. But I got it into my head to write a poem about as many places in the state of Colorado as I could. Big cities, small little towns, ghost towns even. I've been doing a lot of those recently. Towns that haven't really been around since the 1930s. And, you figure with overpopulation, they would build some of these places up. But no, it's like a big old field and a schoolhouse that hasn't been used since 1947. And still, it's sitting there. So we get a lot of those. But we also get neighborhoods, all these different places in Colorado, more than 300 of them, since I started doing the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. And we have a new one today. It's Arickaree, Colorado. It's a real place.
Can you do the sign to indicate the level of...
Oh, this should be covered with schmutz and shit. That's how bad this one is. Arickaree, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit. There isn't that much to tell about it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and then do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man. A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Colorado, Colorado.
Our other friend Christine Lavin there with Colorado, because we're talking about our Colorado Limerick place this week, Arickaree, Colorado, Arickaree. Now, this is a neighborhood in Washington County. So it's basically one of these places that's a street or 2 or 3, like a little neighborhood. In Washington County, that's about 100 miles straight east of Denver. So it's even east a little bit of Greeley, southeast of Greeley, where my wife and I used to live. So according to places.us.com, Arickaree, they rate things. So for affordability, B-, Colorado, and then probably a very nice neighborhood. In fact, really nice neighborhood because it gets an F for diversity. It's Colorado. A D+ for education because they don't put money into education in Colorado, but an A- for crime. So one of your typical suburban neighborhoody communities. That's apparently really, really kind of nice. And it's mountains in the background. Denver, an hour and a half away. Pretty nice place to be. Arickaree, Colorado. Well, it was a nice place to be until I wrote a poem about it. Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Seducing that girl in Arickaree required much guile and some trickery. I do feel remorse, 'cause she stank like a horse, and her cunt was as bitter as chicory. Yeah. Please send your comments and complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. That is, yeah. You can also post, by the way, on our Facebook page or message me there. So either way, I love to read your comments, your complaints, your thumbs up when you give them on Facebook, whatever you want to share about the show. And let me know that you're watching the show, that you're sharing the show with other people, that you're having a good time here. davesgoneby@aol.com. Don't forget, we also have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2.
So I'm watching you live but delayed. It's freaky.
Oh, I know. It's like 7 seconds
Yes.
right now.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's
Radio Dave 2 is the Twitter feed, and also we do have an Instagram page. David, I think it's Dave.Lefkowitz is our Instagram.
I don't know.
Or it's Dave Lefkowitz. Look for me. You can find us on Instagram too. Plus, you can find the Rabbi. We haven't mentioned him. Rabbi Saul Solomon, his website, shalomdammit.com, his Twitter feed @Rabbi Saul Solomon. So, yeah, that's all the ways to find out about the show, to contact me. Remember, the archives start at davesgoneby.com, and they're on archive.org, castbox.fm for the audio. We have a YouTube page, and you can find our recent archives week after week if you scroll on Facebook, too. It's kind of great that they keep, you do a show, you have a video, and it stays there. You just have to keep loading it or searching for it. It's pretty cool. So anyway, that about does it for the 957th episode of Dave's Gone 5. One more thank you, of course, to Brandon Maggart. So really, really delightful to talk to, and a great sport. Coming to us all the way from California.
He was up at, he told me, 5 or 6 in the morning there.
Well, I guess next week is also a Californian. So she's going to be going on, it's late for us.
Yeah.
So her name is Annie Korzen, Korzen. She's an actress. She's appeared in a Seinfeld episode and done stuff like that. But she's gone, in a weird way, social media, like Twitter, TikTok, viral for things that she's been doing on camera. She's not a young lady. She's been at this a while. Yeah, Annie Korzen is going to be our guest next Saturday here live in the Daverhood, August 31st. And then we have one of our guests from a long time ago coming back to us on September 7th, a writer named Timothy English. Speaking of people who write about music, Timothy English, he will be back to join us on the 7th of September. So a lot of great stuff happening on the show, besides our usual stuff that we do, our craziness. We will, I predict, if not next week, certainly within a week or two, have another Bunyan watch.
Whoa.
I know this is what you all wait for.
Don't promise what you can't keep,
Well, unless I've made a horrible accident and have my feet cut off.
Oh, God.
I expect to have. Then I'll have stump watch.
Why don't you do a little potato
Is
bunny?
my stump
do
bleeding?
Do a potato watch. Do their little bunny.
Potato watch always. Hold on.
They have little feet. See if they have bunions.
Oh, do you see anything?
It's hard to tell the anatomy of them.
Yeah.
They're so cute. Oh,
Yeah. Their bunions are perfectly formed. So we do have 3 of these. Oh, they are
They're very soft.
soft and cuddly.
I don't know if it's microfiber, But you're crushing his eyes.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
They have eyes everywhere. It's a potato. I can't help it. Anyway, so from the 3 taters, from the space taters, on behalf of Pooey, lit up space tater. Oh, they're lit. They are lit.
Uh-oh. Here we go. They have different hues, though. One is more cool, one is
Yeah,
more...
one's for orange. It's so cool.
Yeah.
On behalf of chickens and teeth.
And Mr. Rogers.
Oh, and of course, Fred.
Taking care is one way to show your love. Another way is letting...
Mouth love. No, I'm kidding. So join us next Saturday, August 31st. Wow. For the 958th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. For those of you starting school and teaching next week, my condolences. Have a great semester. For those of you doing anything, finishing this late summer, I think next weekend is Labor Day weekend, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. So we'll have a 3-day weekend next week. That'll be kind of nice. So we do intend to see you during the Labor Day weekend. Have a great one. Fire up those barbecues. And just enjoy the late summer until it goes by and gone by.
Days gone by, days gone by, days gone by.
Oh my God, we finished the show and no one got bit.